Hello and welcome back to Let's Dig Up. I am Mike and I am joined by our now complete party of Dom, Rob and Matt. And, as always, and I'm going to turn the attention... I was going to turn it to Matt, but, I think, Rob, you need to do a little introduction where I say what happened previously on Dragondown Grotto. Yeah, you got a little bit before Matt can.
My sound is working.
Sing it out loud, Rob.
What happened previously on Dragondown Grotto? Daydak the Lurk, having been driven from the battlefield by Cicatrix, the evil green dragon, was feeling quite sorry for himself, wondering how he was going to help his friend Nimble Softfoot, when all of a sudden, tramping from the forest, there was a halfling, and he thought for a moment, oh my god, it's Nimble returned, without any effort on my part. No, it was another halfling. And that halfling's name was Dilly the Banished.
Silly Dilly.
Hi. Yeah, it was me. Making a triumphant return. With my halfling, a particularly hench, an unusual halfling, because we were rolling randomly and I had to.
Yes, you had to.
Hench and unusual. So he's an incredibly muscular halfling, but showed up having sort of been pursuing the party of two for a couple of days, thinking that they had perhaps stolen the thing that he was looking for. They seemed a little bit suspicious to him. He'd heard tell of these eggs, which he was kind of looking for, essentially like an ornamental version of that, like a priceless antique type thing that was stolen that he's trying to retrieve, that he thought maybe they had stolen, but in scouting them a little and watching their escapades and learning a bit more about them, he realized that was not the case, and that they weren't the people that he was looking for, but they might be able to help him, and that they were in trouble. And given that he'd done a little bit of research into where he was going, he had bought a stone to flesh potion, which he was more than happy to part with, if he were allowed to sort of tag along and have a look at the Dragon Horde to see if maybe that's where his quarry was.
Yeah, Dilly immediately showed that he was more qualified to be doing this than Daydak the Lurk, because Dilly had thought to, think about where he was going and do research, what monsters might lie in wait. Thus, maybe I'll need one of these stone to flesh potions. That might be really useful. So immediately Daydak's like, oh my goodness, someone that can help. And then when it rains it pours, in this case when a storm is brewing,
Yes.
or another character arrived.
And that was Stephen Stormstruck Dustblade. Who was in the area as a monster hunter and was trying to rid the nearby caverns of the monsters that had taken root. So he had also come prepared with flesh to stone potions. Mike had given me 2 rather than 1 for some reason. Undercut Matthew, possibly.
Yeah.
Just as a contingency.
Yeah, absolutely, because Dilly definitely did the research. It definitely wasn't that when I was making the character, the DM suggested that I bring one. That wasn't it at all.
It's almost like all of our interests and goals align. It's fantastic.
It is, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Like some strange hand of fate.
Yes, Deus Ex Machina has suddenly appeared.
Shoved us in a bucket and shook it together, yes. What Daydak didn't raise were that these two adventurers were traveling alone. They didn't know each other. They came from different directions. So who was going to give them the stone to flesh potions if it did go wrong? So he doesn't feel too bad about it.
Well, that's why at least mentioned that he was willing to join the party, because there's no use having one if you have to give it to you.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take that back completely then, in that case.
Yeah, I remember him saying that.
I fully take it
Very
back.
good point.
I fully take it back. Daydak's just stupid, and I tried to, you know, he's stupid. He's really high intelligence, but he's not. He's got street smarts, but not not basilisk or adventuring smarts. No useful smarts. Anyway, they formed a deadly alliance and decided that they were going to bring vengeance upon the dragon, Cicatrix, and thus aligning our purpose into one goal, which is defeat the dragon, retrieve Nimble, Softfoot, and get some cool kit. And we did just that.
Mm-hmm. We did.
Yes.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. Dilly seemed sort of excited, actually, to be having a crack at a dragon, almost as if maybe he'd seen them before, but never really fully taken one on, or certainly not with a small party.
Definitely not what Daydak thought, because, like, you killed it so brutally and, like, and so comprehensively beat it on your own, pretty much. Like, maybe not strictly on your own, like, obviously, the Dustblade definitely put some licks in, but yeah. Daydak's convinced you're a practiced dragon slayer.
It was a lot of fun. I think Dilly has maybe seen them taken down by larger numbers in the past, but seemed to thoroughly enjoy the fight. But yeah, it went shockingly well, surprisingly well.
So with Cicatrix defeated, we got some loots, which we mentioned in the recap last time, so we don't need to go over that now. But we crucially found an egg, which turned out to be the egg of Bahamut, which is said that if we focus on it, we will be able to bring about a aspect of Bahamut. But like Summon Monster, it takes a round to activate.
Yes.
So we'll have.
But like anyone can do it, right?
Anyone
like,
can do it, sure, but it's like a summon in the sense that you've got to take a round or whatever.
Yeah.
So we'll have to decide who's going to have that on them, I suppose. My argument would be Daydak, because he is the least useful in a fight. So listen, we can just be honest. We just be honest here. But anyway, then they went to the dragon graveyard.
They did, yeah.
They did, and they tried to sneak in.
Oh, we did take out a couple more basilisks, actually, to be fair, we should say.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There were a few dotted around, and we averted our gaze quite well, and all of us got away with that. I think we did all right.
Yes, you did. You approached the dragon's graveyard, and you were following the marker on your map that Meepo Dragonlord gave you to where you had been told the egg of Tiamat was placed.
Yes.
And you could see in your approach where you suspected it to be at the sort of the center of this graveyard. But upon getting close enough, you found that the landscape had become darker and more ashen and blackened. But a lot of the bones looked like they'd been organized and collected into piles and barricades, as if something had just been tidying up.
Yeah, something had been tidying up.
Two gnarly-looking caretakers.
Literally, oh god. Yeah, two cadaver collectors or corpse collectors, and we only fought one and were entirely unaffected.
Swiftly tidied us up.
Yeah,
It really
was miserable.
Yes.
Utterly miserable.
And although Daydak and Dilly got close enough to observe, Nimble, although soft in foot, was not soft at that moment, and appeared around the corner, knives potentially in hand. The cadaver collector saw and single-mindedly chased him down. And it was after a bit of cat and mouse where it unleashed a gas of paralysis. And had it not been for Daydak's intervention, I dread to think what about.
Yeah, the paralysis. I'd forgotten the paralysis. I thought that it just like overwhelmed you, or it hadn't quite grabbed you yet, but it was about to.
It was, and then
it paralysed you, didn't it?
Daydak, how did you save Nimble in that moment?
Daydak was able to use psionic dimension door, where he sort of dematerialized in one spot. No, sorry, he ran up to Nimble, entered the threat range of the cadaver collector, but then used psionic dimension door to leave without us being attacked.
That's right.
And it was as we teleported back into cover and realised we had just wasted a lot of resources to basically zero gain. That is where we left it.
That is, and you were lucky in the after losing sight of its quarry, it took a moment to ascertain where it should start to focus its attentions. And fortunately for, in this instance, for Dilly, who was behind, it ended up looking over in this direction to start gathering and tidying up the bones of creatures. And
Dilly may have been able to escape because he had quaffed a haste potion just as the combat started, annoyingly, because that's a real waste of a potion.
Well, we are picking up immediately at this point.
Well,
So,
I think we were retreating very much, weren't we?
Oh, feel free to finish the job.
Finish the job. Yeah, sure. Okay.
It's barely started, the job, of course. But...
I very much got the impression from these guys that because of the makeup of our party, we are not equipped to take them on. Certainly not head on. If we were all like heavily armored, heavy hitters, we might be able to, get in and overwhelm them with damage. But as we are, I just don't think.
This foe is beyond any of you.
This foe is beyond any of you.
You are, as far as you're aware, the central part of this graveyard is here in the center of an area surrounded by shadow. You can't, from where you are, you can't see through it. You'd have to almost be next to it to be able to fully see what's there. But that looks like the center, where these ribs are shooting out of the ground, sort of encasing it.
Dilly, if you're looking around, you'll see Daydak, who's directly behind you. And he's looking at you and then looking at the construct and is sort of doing that, trying to usher you towards it, as in kill it. Because the only time he's ever seen Dilly, he immediately killed in his mind a powerful dragon. So he's
basilisk, then a dragon.
Yeah, obviously this folk hero is going to be the answer to our prayers. So he's desperately ushering you to finish the job.
Oh man, do you know what I'd love to go in and just take it out. I've got moves, but I just don't. I don't want to roll a new character.
That is genuinely no one wants to roll a new character. I'm going to show you. This is just from looking at you two because we can't really communicate. But does it look like, obviously, Nimble is still paralysed because that lasted a minute?
Yes.
So he's just sort of. I imagine he's locked in position there, right? Is it like stiff paralysis? So he's posable.
Oh yeah. Is it stiff
paralysis? He's got knives in his
paralysis?
hands. He's about to attack, but he's just stood there, totally frozen still.
You know what? Because it's like a chemical paralysis, I'm going, because it's from a gas, I will say yes. It's like every single muscle is seized up. So you're frozen in whatever pose you're in last time. Just like,
Yes.
Could have fun with that. But my question is, does it look like anyone's taken any damage? Because I can't remember.
Nimble, last I checked, had been battered.
Damage.
He has taken damage.
Taken a bit of a base.
Well, in which case, I can easily get to you with my haste potion. So I'll just move. I'll move over.
Then you make a move
guys.
silently check, please.
I was about to say, can I do that on the slide?
First roll of the night. Let's
So I
have
would
a
like
good
to
one,
hide
please.
and move silently. Right.
Let's see.
Move silently. It's only 26.
Let's see if I hear you turn around.
Here.
No!
Oh. That was close.
Close.
You whiz away, and when you turn to look, it hasn't even considered you've left its...
Excellent. I will pour a potion into Nimble's mouth. Have a cure mod. How are we doing potions nowadays, boys? It's been a little while.
that would be 2d8 plus 10.
2d8 plus 10, nice.
We've always, just for ease and survivability, we've always rounded up the caster level in a potion.
Yep.
Yeah, excellent. That's good stuff. So that is 19. I don't know how much damage you took, man, but like, I think that he his priority here is he's seen an injured teammate, so he's just trying to help. He has got like it's like a bandolier, I imagine. It's got like potion slots in it. So he'll take one out of there, and you'll see that he's got quite a few potions on him.
Assuming you're not really going to do much for the next minute, and you're not going to give any cause for raising your volume or anything like that, we'll say the paralysis passes.
That means my haste is gone as well, which is fine. I think it's...
I mean, unless you want to capitalise on your haste, in which case, by all means.
Yeah.
But...
No, as much as I would like to get close to that pit, just to have a look at it before we make any big decisions, I think I can do that on the sly in a situation where we would be able to help each other if things go wrong.
That's the thing, you can't see through the shadow what's in there.
No.
So
we need to be closer, unless it's magical shadow, which is a whole different ball game, but we won't know that unless we get right next to it. I don't think so.
Yeah, tricky. Welcome back to. Well, what are we doing? We need to affect our voices.
Oh yeah. Use your go-to phrase, boys.
Where were we?
Hey, Nimble, you feeling better now?
Do you have a go-to phrase that you use in your head?
Not for
just out of
Northern,
curiosity?
weirdly. I don't.
No. I suppose Northern is one you've heard quite a lot, though, isn't it? So it just sort of, yeah.
Not that I'm any good at it, but
Do you
still...
have one on?
It's more sort of sounds.
Bit of Hobbiton.
So a little bit of here.
Mr.
Here's a
Frodo?
good one.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah. I use the.
Frodo.
I don't know if you ever saw the Irish rowers that were on the news, and they were just taking the piss out of the guy asking them because they said it's not a very complicated sport. And they said, you just get in the boat and you just pull like a dog. It's one of my favourite Irish phrases. Just go from point A to point B, like, and you just pull like a dog. We love it. Right. So, yeah, we'll wait. And,
yes, so the soup commences.
Nimble, are you feeling fit? Or are you still...
Well, I'm feeling much better, thanks, but don't know about facing them things again.
I'm not
Would
sure
have had
we're
me if it
really
weren't for Daydak.
equipped.
No, we have to work out some way of avoiding them. I don't fancy fighting a Dracolich with 2 constructs helping it.
I do really think that we can find our way around them, though.
Just to mention something I did last session, which I think has been forgotten. You know this wasn't Targen Clem's location. You had a map that had several locations. You had the Forest Cliff layer marked as the Egg of Bahamut, the Dragon Graveyard marked as the Egg of Tiamat, and the Dragondown Grotto marked as Clem's location.
Hey,
Or, well, at
listen,
least-
boys. I know I'm not.
Desperately trying to remind us.
I'm not
Don't worry.
the quickest or the sharpest tool in the shed, but if I was looking for a dragon that had been risen from grave, I'd go to the Dragon Graveyard.
Is the DM trying to get us to go somewhere else right now?
No.
Good.
No, he's just suggesting we're not going to be fighting
shit,
Dracolich here.
Like we're
don't be
not
trying that shit.
fucking
I
morons,
will
are
murder
we?
hobo this place up.
I'm just
Dragon
going on
Graveyard.
the information of the map that you were given by Dragon North. That's all.
Okay.
Well, I think we could at least go and have a look in that hole without being spotted. Sorry. We should go and take a look in the hole.
Let's
Hold on, let me take the dog out first.
let's
Don't tell your mum.
let's creep, but perhaps only one of us should go to minimize being spotted. Minimize the chance
That
of being
makes sense.
spotted.
He's the
Just-
best creeper.
Just to say, if you had used any power or effect that had a long last, remember if they're still in effect or not.
Well,
Chameleon is
I will-
on for hours, so I would still have Chameleon on.
You would.
and if I adopt a stance, it stays on until I adopt another one. So
Yes.
I will take up Step of the Wind again, which means I ignore difficult terrain, so I can move over the bones fairly easily, if need be. Now, all right. Whilst I think that it is about who's the best at creeping, I also think we have to think tactically. If one of us goes towards the hole in the middle and gets spotted, it would be really good if we could have somebody else with a ranged attack distract the thing from a distance in case of attack.
Seem like they are determined to kill the first thing they see. So,
Well, they are, but I think that if you do it damage, it's not so much about just distracting it, but if you do it damage, you might be able to redirect it. Self-preservation, like.
drive it towards hole because it's being baited. You say?
No. No. I don't suggest.
No, I don't think that is what he's saying at all.
I don't think we
He's saying
should
the
bait it
opposite.
anywhere. I'm saying that if we do get spotted and it tries to make its way towards whoever is over at the hole, somebody else then can protect that person by doing it damage from a distance.
You don't want push it in all?
Now, it doesn't matter who it is because I know Nimble can damage from a distance and I know you can damage from a distance. I can't, so I can't help you.
Hate to contradict you, Dilly, but I can't. I can't damage it at all.
All right, well, you can attack it from a distance.
All right, well we'll go with that then.
Well-
but let's just try and sneak first if we can do it without drawing its attention.
Oh, Daydak, I think you're probably the best at creeping.
I am the lurk.
He's very good at creeping. He
Well,
is.
go ahead and
He's
lurk your way over there and
person
tell
I've
us.
ever met.
All right, well
Tell us
if
what's in the
it
hole.
looks like he's gonna kill me, then you best distract it. He's gonna move forward. He is still chameleoned, so that gives him plus 20 to his hide.
Okay.
So he will begin moving his way over to Bit.
Bit.
I need a move silently and a hide from you then.
Okay, so we'll do move silently first. Although rather humiliatingly, I think. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Move silently. 28.
23. It does not hear you.
Okay, and then as he moves, he is going to chameleon into. Sort of looks like lots of different bones that throw sort of like a weird pattern across him. 34 to hide.
Make a note of that, because unless you kind of get its attention, it's not going to. It's so focused on what it's doing. Unless you pull it to focus, it's not going to.
Well, I was going to have a look first. A look. So he moves up to the darkness.
Okay. There is a wall of shadows surrounding a 20-foot by 25-foot area situated between 6 enormous rib bones that loom overhead. Features beyond the wall of shadow remain indistinct, though you can discern a large grey slab set into the ground. You can see shapes lying atop the slab, but you cannot make out any details.
Ugh. Can't see out in there. I'm just wondering if Daydak has anything for this, and he really doesn't.
Hang on a second. So I'm going to do a 1, 2, 3, 2. So if I move to about here, I want to move silently and then hide in amongst the bones.
Well, give me a move silently to see if you need the hide. Or if I need to.
34.
24. Yeah, you can give me a hide check, but I won't be doing it.
Also 34. Even Stevens like to keep it, you know.
You both have got 34, so you're both copying each other in how you're hiding.
So what I'm going to do is I pull out like I don't know what they look like in this world. We can all decide because it's a standard item, but a sun stick essentially, and I will just toss it underarm to Daydak, who hopefully can catch it.
Don't make a sound now.
I know.
Be careful.
Okay, well, Daydak will attempt to catch the sunstick, absolutely.
Reflex of 5.
A reflex of 5, you say?
My throw should be fine. Decent dexterity for throwing.
Yeah, I'm not concerned about that.
Let's see,
reflex of 5.
Okay, well, as long as they don't critical fail.
Shh.
Why
do you say it? Why? You're just going to jinx it.
No.
Beautiful. So you now have a sun stick, because, again, in all his little pockets under his cloak.
He'll give a nod and lift the stick towards the shadow to see if there's any effect.
A sunstick is just essentially like a torch. It's just a... So it's not magical, but if it's just shadowy illumination, it should light it enough that he can see whatever, make out the things he couldn't.
Yeah, whatever product the artificers have conjured to create such a thing, you throw it in. You don't throw it in. You use it to see, and it doesn't seem to breach the shadowy walls.
So it is magical darkness.
He'll look across and sort of like shake his head and hope that they can sort of see him despite being actively camouflaged.
You just see Nimble in the distance, like... What's going on over there?
I like to think that a sort of weird Chinese whispers goes on, but because the accents are so messed up, Nimble gets a totally different message.
All right. Well,
He says it's your mum. Do you want a hot pot? What?
Daydak's just on fire, huh?
Daydak is going to dwell upon his powers, I think, to see if there's anything he might be able to do. See, I do have one thing, but I don't think it will count. Does the magical darkness... No, it won't. It's magical darkness. Does it count as a concealment effect?
To an extent, you can't really see through it. You can make out outlines of what's inside, but you can't... So I'm guessing it's like partial?
That's weird. Normally magical darkness is just like a wall of darkness, isn't it? But you can make out stuff on the inside, which is why I thought a sunstick might help. That's bizarre.
Okay. Oh my god. Daydak will focus his energies and remember that he doesn't need to physically see what's in there. He will be able to perceive what's through there with his manifesting power. Moment of insight. For the duration of this power, you can ignore the effects of concealment enjoyed by enjoyed by any creature within 30 feet. Whatever effect is creating concealment, such as fog, shadow, or absolute darkness, you can see through it. So it's only one round unless I spend additional power points to do it, but the more I spend, I can do it for another round. So it's a swift action. So he literally closes his eyes and opens it again, and for a round, he can see what's through that.
And as you open your eyes, it's crystal what you can see. You see right in the center this, what you can perceive to be the egg of Tiamat. There's this blackened but clear egg seems to sit right in the center. So that would be about there. Surrounding it, though, in varying places, you see the bodies of some unlucky adventurers. You can make out the body of a dwarven fighter, as given by like the armor on his person. What looks like an elf caster, a halfling in leather armor, possibly a rogue, and what looks like a human in robes as well. And these four are just completely deceased.
They sound like quite a well-balanced adventuring party.
Aye.
The bodies themselves, in the time you can quickly see this in 6 seconds, the bodies seem quite old and decayed, but some of their equipment still lingers. Mainly any equipment that's magic potentially still lingers.
Can't do a heal check to see how they died.
Give me a second.
Daydak will, whilst the DM looks up the rules, will look to the others and hopefully they can still see him. He'll do this and sort of like try and affect the shape of a big egg, and then do that, and then point into the darkness.
There's a sexy young lady down there.
You can give me a heal check, yes.
Aye. I don't have a very good deal check,
Let
but...
me give you a DC quickly.
Nimble, Daydak says he likes
state the
big
DC.
butts, and he cannot lie.
I don't have a very good heal at all, by the way. It's just
He's full of books and wenches.
Most of them are DC 15, so that's just where we're going to go.
No.
You honestly can't tell.
Oh, balls.
They're just dead.
Oh, well. I'm going to go and I'm going to try and get that egg.
Ooh.
Unless you'll allow me to, because I have, I know that's the same as Knowledge Arcana, but for Psycraft, that's no good. He's going to hiss a whisper, and he's going to go, can either of you bear sense magic?
Sort of.
There's something down there that's tragic.
Aye, sort of.
He's trying to communicate, so I'm just going to move closer. So I stood next to him at the side of it. Would you like another move silently?
There's no reason that you've done anything differently, so no, that's fine.
I just move over next to him. I
Eggs in
can't
there.
see through it. All right. Anything gardening?
Eh?
I said. Is there anything guarding it?
Just dead bodies.
Dead bodies. Oh. Now, I could be wrong, but I don't think these guys up here would have done that. Because they don't throw bodies into the pit, do they? They stick them up on their backs.
Daydak's going to look towards one of the distant golems to see if that is true and if they do have bodies on their backs.
They don't, but you can see that there is blood on their back. So although there isn't any bodies around here, you can see that there has been blood and some impalement.
I don't know, maybe they did. Alright, okay.
Well,
Maybe
it
I'm wrong.
makes sense that they're being collected for some purpose, so they could have just been chucked in there.
Aye, they could have been thrown into the pit there. If you can see down there, then
I can't
maybe you
anymore.
can go and grab the egg.
Aye, I'm going to do that, I reckon.
How far down is it, and is it easy to get in and out?
Yeah, were there any like obvious drops or pits or anything where it's...
No, it looks almost like the top of a sarcophagus.
And I
lids.
made it
There's
out
a kind of
in-
big slab of black.
Sort of in this square here, do you reckon?
Yeah, right in the middle.
Alright, Dilly. I'm going to brave it.
Right.
Just,
I'm going to get Nimble's attention and get him to... and then I will tie a rope around Daydak's waist.
Ah, very good, Dilly. Very clever.
How good are your roping skills?
What's that?
Well, there we go. That answers the question. We'll see if Nimble's any good at it as well. I'm all right, but I'm not an expert.
Actually, he has got quite good dexterity, so a base roll.
Yeah, I mean,
he's
it would be
alright.
my base
Yeah.
as well on dexterity.
Yep.
I'm pretty worried that if I go over there, I'm going to immediately be seen.
If you want the DC to tie a firm knot,
Oh,
the one that's not going to slip is 10.
Oh,
If you want to do a
hang on.
slipping knot, then it's 15.
No, just a firm knot that's not going to slip. I just want to have it around his waist, and I wanted
yeah.
Nimble.
If I
because
really
then
need
the
to get
two of
out
us-
of rope, I can cut the rope. It's fine.
The two of us can yank him out, but I am very strong,
Yeah.
so...
DC 10. You tie a knot.
Tie a knot.
And There we go.
It was close, though. It's almost strong enough.
Dilly, you believe this knot to be fine. It's just like a normal knot you've done loads of times.
He's not done knots loads of times. That's the thing. He doesn't fight with knots.
Daydak will look at it and go, "That's all right, is it?"
I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know.
Well, I'll trust you.
In the past, I've always had people to
No, I'll trust you.
do the knots. It wasn't really my place.
Well, you're Dragon Slayer. I'm just Nimble Lurk. I'll go in.
Slayer.
Have we lost Dom?
Fire. I think we might have done.
No, he's turned his camera off, so he's obviously busy,
Ah,
right?
good point.
If he weren't there, then if he were there,
Right.
then he'd be
wouldn't have
refreshed.
played.
Surely.
Good point.
Surely.
I've
Well, we
got
can wait.
a rope
We can wait.
tied around you, and I'm sure you can hold on to it if it does come in.
Well, let's do this check, and if Dom went back, we'll stop.
Go.
There he is. He's there. All right. Let's.
If
Did you
the
say he
whole
was
time,
10?
just
I rolled a 9.
put it back. Oh no.
So yes, it looks like a good knot. Nimble, are you going to stay there, or are you going to risk moving across?
I think I've got to stay here. I think if I get over there, they're going to see me. With how easy they caught me last time.
Let's give it a go.
Yep. So Daydak, are you going to attempt to pass through the wall of shadow?
Yep. Daydak is going to, for this round, if we're going to do it by round, so he will spend another power point, and boom, he once again has that insight where he manifests what lies before him in his mind's eye. And with that guidance hopefully being enough, he's going to step over the bodies of the fallen party.
As you step through,
Then I will be on that square then, in that case.
you can move freely through the shadowy wall. And in fact, once you're through the shadow, it's almost as if you can now see inside clearly.
Oh.
It's just a darkened area. It's just that wall of shadow. Although not lit, you're not engulfed in shadow. You do have a horrible chill that runs through. You know when you go like, "Ooh."
No.
It just ran right through you as you step through. But that seems to be the worst of it.
Seems fine in here, Dilly and Nimble.
Dilly, as soon as Daydak stepped through, he just became an outline in front of you.
Can see now.
That's interesting.
I'm going to get Deg.
I can't see you. You're just an outline, like.
And yes, you step down and you grab the egg.
Aye.
You grab the egg, and in Indiana Jones style, the minute you move the egg,
I knew it
there
was coming.
is
It's definitely a trap.
I put a
isn't it?
bag of sand in its place. I did that.
as you pick it up, there is a shift in the air,
Oh, balls.
and a creature appears there.
Shite.
There.
What is this?
Oh dear.
Oh.
Oh no, they're
And
like
I
purple things.
will have to put it there because he's
That's all right.
kind
I'm
of
still
manifested
at.
through you. And at this point, I need you all to roll initiative.
Oh my god.
I give Nimble the signal to
Okay.
roll it.
Oh. So.
I give him the signal that a fight has started.
Oh. Okay. So Daydak is 13.
Nice.
Nice, Dilly, nice.
Not that it's going to help all that much. 'Cause I'm just going to pull on a rope.
So we're going
We
to
all roll 19s, except Rob.
Yeah. So Dilly.
Don't get at him. He's under pressure.
I am.
He doesn't need your fucking criticism.
No, I'm fucking down.
And then Daydak.
God, no.
So fun.
Oh, no. I think you might be a little bit fucked.
Well, actually, that does depend on a few things. We will see. We will see. Don't count Daydak out.
We shall see. As
You're going to be fine.
if you would like to give me a knowledge religion, Daydak, just if in your mind you know what these things are.
A knowledge religion. I don't think I have knowledge religion. So
Then you have no idea what these are.
no.
In that case,
No, I don't have knowledge religion. No.
Dilly, you've just seen. You can't properly see it, but you can see the outline of things moving in the area where Daydak is. What do you do?
All right. Look, I have to play it, you know, true to what I would do. I can't go, I'll jump in and start fighting, because he wouldn't. He would, thinking that he'd done the right thing, pull on that rope. Try and pull Daydak out of the hole.
As you pull on that rope, it beautifully unslips as it then vroom, and comes towards you.
As appropriately, Matt vanishes.
Oh, that's a shame. There he is.
He's still there.
Oh, we see you.
Aye.
Sorry. The rope unslipped.
Yep. So that would have been a move action. So you still have a standard action or a move action that you could do.
Well, I will do a swift action, which is shifting into a different stance, shifting defense. Actually, no, I won't. I'll shift into surefoot stance, and I don't know. I don't know what I would do with the. Perhaps then, as the rope has come to me, I would yell, "Daydak, catch the rope!" and I would throw it back in.
Oh, you know what I get to do, which I will do at the end. Oh, actually, no, I'll do it now. Were you saying that normally, shouting it?
Well, I mean, he stood literally 5 feet away from me, so I would be saying, "Daydak, catch the rope," at that kind of volume. I wouldn't shout it, no, because I am also aware that there are sound-sensitive issues.
So that is 20 plus 25 is the DC to hear that. And how far away is this one? Oh, 27. So the closest one. Hello. On a 29, it's something. And the one furthest away, needing a 27 to say?
Right. Well, it looks like I'm going to be a little busy. You've got to take care of those yourself. Shit.
And
Boys, I will be straight back. I'm very, very sorry. I have an issue.
Okay.
I'll be right
yeah,
back.
I just need to check when 22. What was your initiative? 13.
Yeah.
I'm going to.
Don't know what you're trying to.
I'm adding them into the initiative to look to see if they can investigate the noise. They will appear at the end of the initiative this round, and the next round they'll fall into their proper place in the initiative, which is between Nimble and you. As Dilly has gone, these creatures, Daydak, are swarming over you. They appear almost humanoid in terms of their shape, but they seem to be made of just shadow and something not quite there. That's my movement. There we go. These... Oh, I'm on the GM layer. There we go. This one and this one both glide over. And all four of them are going to attempt...
All four of them are going to attempt a spot check of 34 to see me.
Does your hide work in plain sight?
I've got active camo on. It's giving me a 34 to my height. No, not 34. That's what I rolled. Hang on. I am magically concealed.
But you're not invisible.
I am not fully invisible, no, but I am hidden and have rolled move silently and hide checks to be here.
Move silently, yes, but you are standing there. You picked up the egg.
Your skin and equipment take on the colour and textures of nearby objects, include floors and walls. I'm concealed against the floor, so I am hiding.
Do you have the egg in hand?
Yes. Well, I picked it up, which means I picked it up and put it in my stuff. I'm ready to fight.
Yeah.
So... I am using my psionic abilities to be completely...
Yeah. I'm just checking.
I can see what they can roll to see if they can see me, surely.
Okay, so what is... So 34.
I believe it was 34.
Then I need to roll a 20. So I'll just...
It's like literally the only thing I can do. I am called the Lurk.
Yeah.
That's like my primary power is the Lurk.
Lurking.
I
don't know why. Just roll and see, surely.
Let me see. They have to get 20 on a d20 to...
Okay.
So 7, 8, 16, 17. No, so in that case, these creatures are swarming in the area where the egg was, but can't seem to ascertain where it's gone. It's just completely vanished in front of them. That'll be their turn. There's not much more they can do. Which would mean Nimble.
Can I see anything making any... I feel like my job at this point was to distract the big things if they start moving.
They haven't moved yet. They move later in the initiative.
Then I won't do anything yet.
Okay. So you're delaying?
Yeah.
Delaying. Until after they've gone.
Yeah.
That puts you... They're currently... Well, you'll see. It's now then Daydak's turn.
Daydak is going to try and escape.
Uh-huh.
So he is just going to... Either way, he's leaving their threat. Well, they don't see him, so unless they have... Do you want me to roll again? Because it's round by round now?
As you are moving, yes.
Okay, so this is my move silently check. 22.
Let me just get their list. Oh, okay. I did that as a collective, so that's fine. They don't hear you, but if You can give me one more hide check, because there may still be an attack of opportunity as you're leaving their threat.
Certainly.
I can't reach that, so there's...
42, the meaning of life, is more than I need to obfuscate out of there.
Yes, you do, with egg in bag. You get out of there, and you still have movement.
Yeah, as he moves past, he's gonna shout to Dilly, "They're coming! Sorry, they're coming!" 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and he's gonna... What's he gonna do? That's his... Sorry, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. A movement. He can't target them anymore because he can't see them. He's just going to ready... No, he's not. That's just going to be his turn. I think he was so desperate just to get out. I'll just say that that's his turn. So he's just moved out, and he's going to be hidden amongst those bones there.
Okay.
All right.
We're now at the end of the turn, which, as I said, this is not their normal initiative. It's just this round, and then they'll fall into their initiative next round. Investigating noise. Let's see. 5. How much can they... they move. Yeah, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Were you hiding, Dilly, when you'd been there?
I did. I got a 34 and a 34.
But you have been interacting with the rope and that lot, so you've been doing movement to break that, in theory.
I mean, he was trying to stay hidden, so I can give you another hide check if that's...
Yeah, we'll just say that you would have done that. So yeah, give me another hide check, and then...
Also 34.
Another thing.
Nothing has changed.
There is a chance. It's close.
Right.
And it kind of looks at where it is, like at the rope that's there, but it doesn't associate the rope to belonging to someone. On the other hand, at the other end, I'll just get there. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. That is all they do. We're now back to the top of the round. Dilly, you have garnered the attention of the cadaver collectors, but you have seen Daydak has fled right next to you. What do you do?
I mean, are we running? We nab the egg.
Daydak very much looks like he's running.
Legging
yes.
it. Legging it.
Daydak hasn't even looked behind him.
No, I think Dilly didn't really try and hide himself. He was just because the check stayed the same anyway. So he was basically just quite well hidden as he was doing stuff. He saw the thing coming, and then he saw Daydak jump out of the hole and just go, "Oh shit, they're coming!" Dilly's kind of sees him and looks at his situation, looks at the two guys, and just goes, "Ah, fuck!" and turns. and will dart off and can 1, 2, 3, 4. I can get next to, but actually I will do double movement because I'm not going to do anything else.
Because fuck you.
Yeah, I should have been at mine.
For the sake of this, if you can get beyond the reaches of the map, I will say you have fled. I'm not going to say you have to come the way you did, just get out the borders of the map.
Well, I mean, I will, but I'm not going to go so far that I can't help if shit goes awry. So I'm going to say that because I can, so I was next to him, and then 1, 2, and then 3, 4.
Did you double move?
Off. If I double move, I'm off the map. But I'm
if
not
you double
abandoning
move,
my teammates.
I will not give you any stealth options. If you single move, I will allow you to keep moving silently and possibly hide. Because otherwise you're literally just charging.
Yeah. Kind of think that he was... Is Daydak moving very carefully? Because he only did one move, didn't he? So I suppose he is moving heavily.
So 5, 10, 15... you would have been that, yeah.
Sure, yeah. I mean, not that I said it, but I opted not to take double movement, and that was my fault. So if you want to get off, you go, mate. I'm not going to be spotted, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think you are going to be spotted. This is the thing. Dilly is looking, and he can barely see you himself. He only knows you're there because he knows you're there. So no, I will. I'll just go for it. Double move off.
And so Dilly legs it. You break line of sight around some of the bone bits, and you are no longer concerned with the cadaver that's behind you.
But like I say, I do reserve the right to stop and come back if shit goes awry for my teammates. I haven't just gone and legged it off to the next town.
No, that's I know. I've bracketed you in the initiative.
Cool.
We move next in the initiative, and it looks like Daydak, as you cast an eye behind you, these creatures can't seem to move past this shadowy wall. They seem to hit the shadowy wall and then sort of become one with it. So they don't pursue you. However, this is now where the cadaver collectors are actually coming in initiative. And they would have gone... I know they can't match your DC. They would have gone...
how they see, though. Mate, I was more than... I half expect them to not be affected by such things. I don't know.
They're immune to spells that allow spell resistance. Does Chameleon allow spell resistance? Because then it might be able to have some semblance of seeing through it.
That wouldn't work, because the spell isn't on them, it's on him.
It's not on them, it's on me. And it doesn't
That's
say
the
anyway. It just says
that's the
self,
only thing I could have thought of. So, no, I don't see a reason why... Like, they have various types of vision, but they don't have, like, magical... golem vision of...
Is it like the bones and the floor?
Yes. No, they head off in the direction of... of the noise of Dilly. This one seems to have already just... gets there, and then it seems to already give up the chase. Seeing as it can't see anything at this point. But that's all they do. Daydak... I'll be honest, unless you decide you want to start attacking the one next to you, you'll be able to pretty much just slide off the map.
Daydak is also going to run. But he will throw a look over his shoulder, so if it looks like Nimble doesn't understand what's happening, which is, possibility.
Nimble walks around. What are you all doing?
So he'll run with the proviso that Matt stated, which is we'll be throwing looks over our shoulders to make sure we're all withdrawing as one. Yeah, and that'll be Daydak's turn.
Yeah, and then Nimble, who delayed.
I'll just seeing that they're running. Nimble will also flee for his life.
And although I'm guessing you're going to double move.
Double to then quadruple to a full sprint.
And by this point, all of you leg it out of the dragon graveyard. And you keep running until the bones around you become more disorganized. The blackened earth starts to look more natural. And by this point... you're able to get yourself away from the dragon graveyard and into a position of what feels relatively calm. So much so you'd be able to set up camp if you wish to rest. Daydak, what you have on your possession, it almost appears to be crystalline and transparent, but when you start to look at it through the fire, it's almost like you can see all the colours of the chromatic dragons casting through.
Oh, look at that.
Dilly, not the egg you're looking for.
No. No, I don't think he didn't think it was.
Looks like we've
Put
got
them next
both.
to each other. Put them next to each other.
Yeah, Daydak will put them both next to each other and balance them near the fire.
Dilly, you are probably, I think, the only person here who has an ability to sense magical devices.
Yeah.
You can tell that the items don't like this. They don't like being next to
Next to each other.
There's just like
You look like a great pair, didn't he?
Get out a really big frying pan. Right. Make a double dragon egg.
Two egg
omelette.
omelette.
Yeah.
it's like that scene in Shrek, isn't it, where you're looking and then the cuts to the frying pan with the eggs in it. Yes.
Those don't like each other. They're out to sprout arms and start hitting each other.
Oh, sorry.
That's a shame.
They're
Make a right pair.
If you have knowledge the planes or knowledge...
kind of seems like they're enemies before they're even born. A little bit sad, really.
Or knowledge arcana, you could do some more with it, but yes.
I do have knowledge arcana.
I don't know anything about it. I know that it's two opposing dragon gods or whatever.
The
point that makes sense that they're-
of them.
That they're not going to be getting on very well and all of that, but
22
Yeah.
on the knowledge arcana.
Yeah, it's exactly that. These are two opposing parts of the pantheon for dragons. Is it dichotomy? Is that the right one? But whatever, they are two opposite ends. Mm-hmm. But that does also bring into question, if you were to bring both in, would they both collaborate?
Oh, so their aspects may fight each other.
Quite a
do they
distraction.
both work in the same way, do we think?
You can tell. All of you
use
can tell.
both of them with the summon aspect thing. They're just going to appear and be like, we'll fight for you.
Yeah,
You
they
summoned
Fight each other.
as if you summoned. I
This
can't
prick.
believe you summoned him as well. So not cool.
Pretty much.
Just have a little scrap.
we know we have to be very tactical when we use them, for they won't be sticking around very long, as I suspect. So, I say, we do as you say, Dilly, we keep them apart. One of us holds one of us holds the other. Then, we take it in turns to summon them. It's
Well-
battle.
We don't know whether. I mean, we don't. What do we need to summon them for the time being?
To fight a Dracolich, Dilly.
But the Dracolich hasn't been summoned yet, has it?
Well, that's very optimistic of you. He won't be summoned ever.
I don't know. I'm a little bit
It's a matter of
lost.
time, innit?
What's our next step like?
We got
Fight the Dracolich.
to kill Targen Clem for for making us look like fools.
Clem, and yes, Meepo's map suggests that the actual location of where the Dracolich is buried would be at the Dragondown Grotto.
I'd have sworn he'd be buried in Dragon Graveyard.
That's the last known burial site of Sargest Darkworld.
Sargest. That was name of dragon, Dilly.
Right. So we're to fight a Dracolich.
Aye, did you miss that bit?
Well, I mean, you say these things like sometimes it's maybe like they're a metaphor. We thought maybe it was like a metaphor. Like, we're going to fight the gods, like, that kind of thing. We're not really going to fight the Draco Lich because that would just be insane.
Well, I don't know what you're so worried about, Dilly. You seem to handle yourself quite well against Dragon.
Aye, an alive one. I'm not big on fighting the undead.
Hey, Nimble, what's it like when you throw your daggers at undead?
I don't know if I've ever done it, to be honest.
That's not helpful, but fair.
Just those big things back there, and they didn't seem to mind.
No.
No, I'm not sure we were going to do much to them no matter what we did.
I can be a bit effective against undead if I know they're there.
Yeah.
I mean, I can hit things really hard.
Which is why I think we're counting on you, Dilly.
That's pretty much what I've got.
So it's agreed. You'll lead at the front, Dilly. Nimble and I will each hold an egg. So you battle the forces of evil, and we'll be the ones to bring the
right by
cavalry.
your side, but 20 feet back.
Right. Okay.
We'll bring the cavalry.
I think maybe we should just go and see what we're up against.
Aye.
Just go and have a little look.
So
when we get there, we might see an actual Draco Lich and then just be like, do you know what? I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. I don't. No. That thing's
have to be
straight
honest.
out of a nightmare. All this undead nonsense. Ugh.
I just wanted to check, Nimble, are you feeling alright? We didn't really get much chance to chat since you were turned stone.
No, I'm feeling pretty good, to be honest.
Well, that's alright then.
Yeah, ready to go.
Which one do you want then, Nimble? Do you want colourful one or metally one?
Feel like the metally one's more your vibe.
Alright, well, if you think so.
Feels a bit more, lurking in the shadows and that.
Aye, alright then. Very well, I'll take that then. And he'll take the Bahamut egg then in that case, Mike.
So Daydak with that, and Nimble with the chromatic egg.
And Dilly does the fighting.
I know I'm here that if, like, the two of you start fighting each other because these eggs affect you in some way, I can stop that.
Will it rope again?
I knew you'd bring it up. Look, I told you I wasn't good with rope. I did say.
You did say.
It was an intense moment, all right?
It was.
Yes.
Well,
I love it. You slay a dragon and then the next day one bad knot completely undoes it all. It's all anyone bloody remembers.
well, I don't want to speak for yous, but I need to take Kip and to have a rest because my eyes are tired.
All right.
So let's have a break.
Straight asleep.
As the three of you rest up, knowing that you are soon to head off to the last of the locations to possibly deal with Targen Clem and a threat of Sagast Darkweld. We shall see when we return after a break what happens.
Are some names.
So, as always, if you haven't already, please give us a like and a follow. And if you haven't done so already, please ring the bell. Click the bell. Just do the thing. Show your
Ring the
support.
bell.
Yes.
Ring the bell.
And we shall be right back after these beautiful messages.
So very much.
There you go.
Thanks.
And we return to the nighttime camp where Nimble, Daydak, and Dilly have been resting before their final push to the Dragondown Grotto. I hadn't asked if you had a watch order, but I'm guessing it would have been similar to last time.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically the same.
I mean, I actually have a note here that says you don't encounter anything between the graveyard and the grotto.
Really?
We thank the developers of this module for their leniency.
Yes, it says it in black and white.
Okay, well. That's very
Do
generous.
anything out here. We can literally anything
Okay,
happen.
with the developers.
And as the night passes and you regain all your power points, you get all your meditations and your
I
exercises.
regain power points? Cool.
The Lurk,
Wicked.
maybe. And Nimble's able to pocket a few more knives.
You got a pocket full of knives and lint.
Nimble, are you at full strength? Are you?
I am. Yes, you healed me to close to max, and then
Good. Super.
the night's rest did me a much needed.
All right then.
He
Well, that's
says,
very good.
remembering that he's got an accent. He's got Irish.
Yeah, I keep forgetting as well.
I had a bit of an epiphany in our hours of rest. I was inspired by the single-mindedness of the automatons that were guarding the grave. They attacked what was nearest them, aye?
Oh yeah.
He looks at a threatening look, agree with me.
Sure, if you say so, Daydak.
Well,
Mr. Lurk, sir.
when we summon dragons, let's ensure that we're nearer the enemy when we summon the dragon aspects than we are the other Nimble. Does that make sense?
Right. I see what you're saying.
A lot of friends. Yeah.
If we do summon these two, try and summon them near the other enemies than each other.
Aye.
Right.
That
I'm sure.
is why you were the thinker in this little posse.
Aye.
Yeah.
Me and Dilly, we're the little guys who just run around and try and help.
You do more than
Isn't that
try,
right, Dilly?
Nimble. You do yourself disservice with the knives you keep
No,
jumping.
no, you're the big folk. You big folk are strong and change the world, and us small folk, we just live our little lives.
Well, you're
He
very much
he
making
just
this
gives
like,
Nimble a slightly knowing, amused look.
you don't need to make it about class and society, Nimble. All right, you're bringing race into it as well, which is sort of uncomfortable. Okay. Do we have to have this conversation right now? First thing this morning. I haven't had my coffee yet.
Yeah, it's probably more of a late night discussion, that, isn't it?
I haven't been Nero as yet.
Has Nimble had a bit of a chip on his shoulder about being a halfling?
No,
This
he
feels
just-
frightfully passive aggressive.
he just no, he's very earnest. He just feels that, you know,
I was just randomly
a small
generated
life
this
is
way.
nothing to be ashamed of.
All right. Well, if you got anything else to say, let's hear it then, Dilly and Nimble. You got any plans for Dracolich?
I thought I might throw my knives at it, to be honest.
Do you know what
By
that sounded like to
suggestion.
me? You sounded like Alice from The Vicar of Dibley.
Oh,
Just not getting one of the jokes at the end of the show. I thought I might throw my knives at it.
Look, Dibley's great.
Just
classic.
adorable.
Classic. Absolute classic.
Yeah.
Right, well, let's hear it then, Dilly.
I mean, as Nimble said last night, I've not had a lot of experience with the undead. It wasn't really a thing. I trained with kind of fighting bandits and occasionally in the odd battle between warring clans and things, but never really much with the undead. I was never really much of an adventurer before a few years back. So,
What you need to know about us halflings, Daydak, us little folk, is that we don't really go out into the world and get into big fights, do we? We don't.
well,
just live
I
our
mean,
little lives and
no, I definitely gone to big
very
fights.
rarely come across any.
I've trained with big folk, and I've trained with like really big folk. I've trained with a lot of different types. My village never really stuck to themselves like some halflings villages do, but I've never really faced much in the way of undead. So, I mean, I'll do my best.
What he's
I'll
trying
hit
to
it
say is
really,
that-
really hard.
us halflings, we don't really know much about the outside world.
Why'd you keep saying that, Nimble? You're trying to tell
'Cause it's
Dilly
true.
something without me knowing?
No, if I wanted to do that, I'd just speak in halfling, wouldn't I?
Oh, you wouldn't do that, would
he's
you?
not wrong.
No, it wouldn't.
All
Don't
right.
mean nothing by it.
Now then.
I ain't drawing no eaves.
Now then. I can sneak attack undead with my augments, because I'm a lurk. I have certain augments I can apply to attacks. So I can strike at an undead with sneak attack.
Right.
So I go again.
If you can sneak up on it in the first place, though, like, right?
Given
that it's actually, alright, it's undead, but it is a dragon.
No, I'll forgive you, Dilly, because you don't know me very well, but I'm Daydak the Lurk, and that's what I do.
Alright. Well, I mean, I've seen you doing your vanishing thing, and it was pretty cool.
Or not
That's the
see
thing,
me.
you don't see him do the vanishing thing.
But that's it, I didn't see him, yeah.
He
you're
just
quite right.
vanishes.
Now, I don't know. I don't know how good I be against undead, but I give it a go. And
Alright, well, let's just...
I'm not 100% sure, but I think something like this would be all about magic. What are your defenses like? Because on the one hand, yeah, it's about hitting something as hard as you can, throwing knives at it and all of that, but like, what about protecting yourself? No good if you're dead.
Well, we got Scroll of Baleful Polymorph, Cloud Killing Whole Monster, and Scrying. Can you cast scrolls, Dilly?
No.
Well, what you keep talking like one of us can perform magic rituals and
I can't do magic.
and say funny spells. Do you see a wizard among us?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying, what are your defenses like against magic?
Same as everyone else's, I
You see-
suppose. I'm not used to having spells cast at me.
My defense against something that's going to go and do magic or something I've not seen before is what I do is I throw knives at it, you see?
Right.
Defense, is it? That's
And
an
that
offense.
usually works.
I
So
have
the
an
best-
idea.
You know what they
Defense.
say? Best
Right-
defense.
Right at beginning,
Oh my god.
right at beginning adventure, we got 3 heroism potions. Right.
We did.
So let's have one of them each, because that'll help us against fear effects. Which Dracolich will definitely have.
Do I have a bonus against fear effects? Because I'm an elf. I think
Yeah.
I do, don't I?
So you
Yeah,
have
you
get
you have so we'll each have a heroism potion on us, okay? So we each have as the spell heroism, which I believe is against fear effects and will prevent us from being frightened.
It gives you a bonus
Or is
to
it a bonus?
will, I think. But I think
Bonus
it
to the save. Well, let's bloody have a look at it, shall we?
Heroism. You get a +2 morale bonus on attack rolls, saves, and skill checks.
Yeah.
Well, that'll help in fight against dragon.
Yeah.
And it's morale.
Aye.
So I think it'll stack with our bonus for being a halfling.
And yes, would last 10 minutes per level.
Aye.
I mean, I don't have anything potion-wise. I've got 1 potion of haste left, which I'd take at some point to fight. And a bunch of cures.
Alright, well, let's
I'm not unwilling to share on the cure potions, as long as, if depending on how many you've got, of course.
No, I've got 2 serious wounds.
Oi, me too.
I've got 5 cure mods.
I have 4.
2 light.
And I've got 5
I've got
life.
3 and 1. I've got 3 medium, 1 serious.
Alright, then I think we're set.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
Let's go.
Why not?
To Dragondown Grotto.
Door.
He said,
Grotto.
Grotto. He said
Grotto.
name of
Oh,
the module.
Dragon down.
Just the name of the module and the model.
So we're ready.
Aye.
And you
Right.
set off. And
You sure we don't want to have a longer discussion?
Yeah, we didn't really discuss how we were going to. We have no means. Let's just see what lies ahead. I agree with Dilly. If we see a Dracolich, that'll inspire us to action. All right.
That's not what I said.
It's sort of what you said.
You two are just like I trained in the military. This is
I trained in the circus.
in the
Ah,
circus.
well,
Ah, right. Okay.
I was just
I was a
rejected
clown,
from.
I was.
I'm out here with a bunch of artists.
I was just rejected from society for the accident of my birth. But that's just me. No.
From your accent.
Access. Yes, all right, Nimble. All right, that's what I meant.
and so you travel, leaving your camp behind you as you head towards the Dragondown Grotto.
Aye.
And you find the landscape around you feels quite lost and lonely, something that's not been inhabited or gone near for a while. And as you reach the location marked on the map, it is almost as if some horrible disaster has torn this land asunder. The earth gives way to a gaping pit. Massive boulders block much of your view, but you see trails winding up and around the devastation to the north and the south. And this is what you see.
Oh, heck.
It's a big square.
Oh shit! What the hell is that?
Oh.
There's a bloke on a black dragon.
Oh.
You see
Dragon, or is it a dragon?
Well, he mentioned the black dragon, didn't he?
you can see the familiar sight of Clem sat upon the back of a black dragon, and he just seems to be chanting, there. There's a small stash of eggs. There's not many left, and every once in a while, the black dragon just picks one up and just throws it into the center of this area here. You see also scattered around a couple of draconic-looking creatures. Pretty much anything you do from here needs to be considered. You are hidden where you are, but anything now risks alerting.
Does anyone have any idea of what those other creatures are? He said draconic-looking creatures, but they're not dragons, right?
Yes, draconic-looking. You'd have to make a knowledge arcana check.
I can do that.
You look like dragons to me.
23.
23. Please excuse my pronunciation. These are dragons.
Oh, dragons.
Or
Yeah.
lion drakes.
Are they dragon?
They're dragony.
The dragony.
Dragony. Also known as lion
Dragony.
drakes. They are
Dragwan.
dragons. Draconic in nature, but not in birth. Although they share some of the qualities of a dragon, they probably are closer to that of a big cat than a true dragon.
Don't let one of them start telling you a story, because it'll really drag on.
Nilly, you're
trying not
you are
to stop it.
Yourself.
Hey, I'm a dad.
Papa Brads. Come on.
However,
I am entitled to dad jokes. I am entitled.
you are, all three of you, you are in the presence of a powerful-looking black dragon, of which I would need you all to make a will save against its frightful presence.
Oh,
Really?
Can
we take our potions first?
I've taken our we didn't say.
Well, how long does the potion last?
It's 10 minutes per
level.
level.
So, yes, you could have done.
But 10 minutes per level for a level 3 sorcerer. Sorry, level 3 caster. Someone that can cast level 3. So that's probably going to be
So,
more than 10
30 minutes.
Yeah, 30 minutes.
Well, no, because a level 3 it would be
That's
more
what
than
I was trying to say. To cast level 3 spells, you have to be like level
5.
So it's really
I think.
50 minutes. So if you could have said, Mike, that on approach to the location that we knew where it was, because we got a map, we knew where we were going.
Yep, that's fine.
Is that all right? Thank you.
Yep, you will need it.
So a will save, eh?
Yes, please. You all need to make a will save. DC. Oh, wow. Where did it go? 23.
Black dragon disappears.
Really? 23?
That's a 1 on the dice for me.
Critical fail.
I have just done
critical
my
fail.
God.
1 on the dice?
Nimble, can you join?
I'm so brave.
Oh my Nimble.
Nimble.
Daydak and Dilly
Heart.
shit
Yeah,
themselves.
literally just like, oh no.
For a black dragon, they're both like, what the shit is that?
You are both shaken for 14 rounds.
Oh.
Right. Well, look, it doesn't matter because we're not going to attack for 14 rounds, are we?
Aye,
We're just going to
leave.
stand here until it
Let's
goes away.
leave. We'll leave. We'll leave.
Literally,
Having a panic attack.
Dilly and
just
Daydak just
stand
have a
there
moment
for-
of looking at each other like this. Look, it's going to be fine. Calm down.
You watch as a tear rolls down, dude.
Dilly just gets an unusual amount of sweat in his top
Oh
lip.
no!
It's fine. We're going to be fine.
Dab, Dilly, you may want to dab. Have a bit
Just
of
to
dab.
remind you, the only thing that makes you immune to a save is success. Even if you fail and the time elapses, you're then still susceptible to it.
Right.
The only one who doesn't need to make any subsequent
Really
saves right
hoping
now is
that
Nimble.
we won't get another one when we try again. So whatever, but we're not going to just accept that. We're going to stand here for 14 rounds
God.
and take deep breaths.
Just like 2 minutes. Of...
2 minutes.
Count the trees. There's one tree there.
Right.
Count the trees. Be mindful.
Are
2
you-
minutes pass, you're able to do another one.
Okay, but we'll. All right.
Nimble has told a story about his circus time and a particular act where we all squeezed inside this cart, right? And they rolled us out into the middle of the circus tent, and then we all came out one by one. It looked ridiculous because there's too many people in the cart, really. Wait, you think? I thought you'd find that funny. Are you guys okay?
I feel a bit better now, Nimble. Let me just have another look at it just to check. Let me
all
just have
right.
another look.
As you both now
gonna-
look over
ready?
at the
We're
huge
going to look at it on tree.
Oh,
again.
God.
1, 2, 3.
Daydak, you are still.
It looks even worse than before.
We look and we go, oh no. It's so
You
big.
notice as the minutes go past, the amount of eggs at Black Dragon's feet are lessening.
Oh, we need to act. All right, sorry. Wait,
Oh, hang on.
oh. All right, so let's
What
just
does
go.
being
9
shaken?
rounds.
What does being shaken do? Yeah, but then we have to do it again.
That's all right. All those eggs are being chucked into the central bit. You
Right.
take your time.
Are we just going to go and have a conversation then, or what? Or are we going to sneak up?
Well, I'm gonna manifest chameleon before I do out else. So Daydak, rather because he's immensely terrified, that's his primary motivation for going chameleon this time. Chameleon eyes as himself. He has that active camo sheen roll across him once more.
Uh huh.
I can try and sneak attack dragon, but we have to worry about its allies as well.
Right. I'm going to try and get around the back over to this guy. All the way over there. And I'm going to try and get in there and do it some damage before it knows I'm there as well.
Do you not want to focus on the dragon, Dilly, as you're the dragon slayer?
Well, you said you can sneak
Slayer.
attack.
Aye, we
I
focus.
thought your plan was to sneak attack the big black dragon thing.
Aye, but
I
we
don't want to.
focus-
I don't
we
want to attack the
focus
big
our
black dragon. I
attack-
thought
we
you were
just
going to
wanna
attack the big black
focus-
dragon. Why have I got to do it?
Just trying to focus fire, Dilly.
Stop arguing.
I don't want-
Oh,
no.
you made him cry now.
No, look here, Nimble. You're not scared of it. I think you should attack the big
Yeah,
black
you're
dragon
the
in the
only one
middle.
that's not scared.
Daydak and Dilly are both trying to avoid going for the black dragon in the middle. They're both like, no, it's fine. You take it.
all right. Let's get into.
Why don't we use our magic eggs?
We have time. We have time to use eggs. Let's try one first, eh?
Right.
Let's try one.
Okay.
And as they're brightly coloured, we'll go for the egg of Bahamut first, eh?
Okay. That's the one you've got, isn't it?
Aye.
All right.
I'm so sorry. I am actually. Oh, there we are. So Daydak's going to hide first of all with his active camo in those bushes. As
I'm going to hide as well with him.
he becomes steadily surrounded by a puddle of his own making.
Yeah, they both hide. Basically, they both hide in the bush.
I need hide checks then from whoever is
So
hiding.
that's a
40.
40, and that's a 40 on the high check for Daydak.
Oh yeah, it's a +2, isn't it? Because of the heroism.
Well,
But you're
technically minus 2
please.
because we're still shaken. So we are actually, for all intents and purposes, unaffected. Really, we should
Normal.
remember that.
Yeah,
We
not
should
shaken.
remember that.
Yeah, that's cool. 29 on my.
29. Cool, we'll deal with that in a moment. So,
Right.
and
Oh, even the bush.
Nimble, are you hiding as well?
I might hide, but not with them because I'll draw attention to them.
So you're just hiding where you are. That's fine.
Can I
Well,
hide down? Can I go this way?
If you're going to move further, you risk provoking the attention of the creatures there.
I can move
Anything
nimble
beyond-
if you want. I can move. I can move on my turn.
I'll hide there, then I'll just hide there.
Aye.
Yeah, anything beyond those rocks is going to start provoking stuff.
All right. come on then,
26.
That's pretty good. Oh, that should be 28, actually. I forgot to do the heroism.
Yeah,
Almost as good as Dilly.
Very nice. Well done.
So you're channeling this round. As you spend the round focusing on the egg, Daydak, just there in your hands, this platinum egg, and you just know by holding it what you need to do. You just are channeling and focusing upon it. And you have, that is now 8. You feel after a few seconds a connection, a divine connection. There is almost a knowing resonance to something bigger and greater than yourselves. And then a burst of light erupts from where you are, and this egg just seems to just erupt into light as it then above you coalesces into an almost solid entity, as now above you is an aspect of Bahamut.
That's not very subtle.
And unfortunately, with bringing out the aspect of Bahamut, who will act on your turn, that has garnered a lot of attention, as there is now this roaring creature. Just... I mean, this is...
I wish I did over there.
Majestic. However, him being there is going to encourage all of you to roll initiative, as... the aspect will act on your turn, Daydak.
Better than last time, at least. That's 19 for Daydak's.
Oh, come on.
Dilly is just last. Okay.
Oh, come on. Come on.
So we'll start.
I don't mind.
So, okay. So 7, 18, and 19. So what did you all get?
How many rounds did it take to summon the thing?
1 full round.
Right.
You know this creature is going to be around for 15 rounds, Daydak.
Right. And then maybe it took another round before that to actually decide on doing that.
Yes, you've got 7 rounds of being shaken left.
Good, just checking.
Let me just check. So Daydak
Those bonuses
is
would be
19, but a higher initiative. So we go Daydak, Lion Drakes or Dragons. 18. Oh dear. There. Then we go Nimble. Then we go there. And ending the initiative. I think Dilly is still a little bit in awe of the dragons. Just
Yeah.
Absolutely. Let's start with this aspect of Bahamut now hovers next to you, and there is a knowing presence as it looks around the scenery, and it can immediately see and spy, and it knows these 2 creatures that stand ahead of it, Targen Clem and its black dragon ally, and it knows it needs to stop them. As far as things are concerned, I've got all the stats for the aspect. You tell me what you would like him to do. It has a breath weapon that can be used once per day. And then it has mostly just natural attacks. So really, I will give it into your control, and it acts like a summoned creature.
Okay.
Controlled by...
It can only use its breath weapon once per day.
Once a day, yeah, lame.
Yep.
It's going to be devastating there, isn't it?
Once per day.
Crap summon. Awful. It's the equivalent of Summon Monster 2.
But it might do nuclear level damage with its breath weapon, we don't know. It might have like a...
Oh, it can fly 100 feet. So, there you go. It's that's with you then, Daydak. You should have control.
Do you feel in control?
Do you feel in control?
And it's my turn?
It is, yes. You lead the initiative.
Daydak is wondering if he breaks cover right now. maybe it would be a good idea to start flanking around, getting ready to lay... Either get into sneak attack range with his bow, which is quite close. So he's just going to double move. So 5, the squares are quite hard to count there. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And then, because he's moving in combat, do you want me to roll the hide again?
You're in a new hiding spot, so yes, please.
Yeah, okay. Better. 43.
Okay.
So he will just spend his movement to move, and then the rest of his turn to hide himself in the bushes there.
Yep.
He will draw out his bow, but he'll be ready to drop that to draw a blade if he needs to do a close combat sneak attack instead. He will sort of try and play it loosey-goosey. But as he goes, he notices he remains psychically connected to the aspect of Bahamut, and he thinks to himself, all my life I've been living in shadow, never once seen the light. He's amazed at this godly divine creature, and tells it to charge forward, I think. Or would it make more sense for the dragon to go for one of the weaker ones to just wipe it out totally? That will draw the ire of the black dragon to the one to where we want it. That dragon's going to go to intercept it, surely. Or do we want it to straight up just attack the dragon? The breath weapon will hit both Clem and the dragon. So it's probably important to hit them whilst they're together, I would say.
Is there a way that dragon could transport a halfling closer to one of the enemies on its way?
That's a great idea.
If it's going to attack, just because I've got all that distance to travel, and I only move 20 feet, it's going to take me forever to get closer to the enemy because we're over the other side of the map. If it could just whiz me over there to one of the other little ones, I could take one of those out.
What's the what will that be then? Will he have to use his turn to pick up Dilly? Can he just pick him up? So then, when it's Dilly's turn, Dilly can act from where he gets dropped off.
Like that.
Yeah.
Yes, because Dilly is a small character. Yeah, it would be safer for the creature to pick up and move as opposed to Dilly to ride, because otherwise their checks are going to that.
Yeah. So in that case, then he will psychically be told to get Dilly. So 5, 10 to there. Grabs hold of Dilly and then has a remaining 90 feet to move. Where does Dilly want to be dropped?
Well, I mean, wherever it's planning on attacking. If you were saying it's going to go to one of the smaller ones, so it's going to try and take out one of these.
But now I'm thinking it might be better to hit Targen Clem whilst he's in the same vicinity as the dragon, because it will get them both with the breath weapon.
You might even be able to get that other dragon, depending on how.
Yeah, are we allowed to know its range, its cone or line or whatever?
It has a 40-foot cone of cold.
Oh, then 100% it's going to be landing here and coning these all together. Will the cliff give this one protection as it's raised?
It's only a 5-foot high, and
Oh, okay. Then that I think is the best idea then. So let's go movement-wise. Pardon me 1 second.
I will move myself with.
yeah.
So we're going for the big guy. That's fine.
Yeah, but I want to be in a space where I can hit them both, yet they have to commit to a movement so they don't get full attack on it as well. So I should be able to do a cone thing here. And I know I might be like over analysing it a bit, but that's 40 foot, so it has to be there. Could you move it to that position, please, Mike? Because I'm sure you can move the dragon as well. Thank you.
Okay, where are you
it's
jumping?
It's not going to drop me the fire, is it?
No,
so I'm going to say
it doesn't look like
behind
fire. It looks
Fuck yeah.
like evil, kind of malicious sort of.
Actually, I'm little. I can occupy this square right at the front here, underneath its head, sort of. So that's
Okay.
where I'm going to be.
As it lands, is that exactly where you're landing, Dilly?
Well, I'm underneath it, so I'm because it was
Perfect.
holding me. So yeah, I'm being
it's
put underneath
still
it.
its turn. So as it's flying, it blasts the cone in front of it as it lets Dilly down. So Dilly's not in front of it as it blasts.
Yeah,
So-
I'll come to that in a second. So, as
Well, I'm
flies
underneath its head anyway, so it wouldn't get
over
me.
and lands there, letting go of Dilly, and as it lands, opens up, and a cone of cold just explodes out, forcing both the dragon, which I keep on calling by its name, so I'm just going to say it's Blackbone. So Clem, Blackbone, and the Dragon will need to make a reflex save, DC of 20.
They are flat-footed for the purposes of reflex saves. A character who has not yet acted during a combat is flat-footed. A flat-footed
Doesn't
character loses his
affect-
dexterity. Oh, they're big dragons, of course not.
Yeah, and that's armor class. This is just a jump out of the way. So reflex. So the DC is 21. So the Dragon is for half. Nope, Dragon takes full. For Blackbone, because that's what I've got open in front of me. It easily just uses wings to grant it and brush some of the cold away for some protection there. And Clem,
Fandango.
a mighty. Oh dear. Can you roll me 10d6, please? And Blackbone will take half of this.
10d6 coming right up. Bring me fortune.
That's nice and easy.
Ooh, that's good.
The Dragon at the back takes the full whack then of cold damage, as it looks like this. The lion qualities of it seem to just chip away. Blackbone is able to. Actually, Blackbone takes that full whack in terms of any reductions and resistances. So it takes that down to.
Clem failed his save, right?
Clem did fail his save. You can see that Clem's got a little bit of resistance going on, but it's not much. Oh, as you can see, Clem is desperately trying to stay there, and is constantly saying, "Arise, please, arise, please, arise." It hasn't broken what Clem is saying. Arise, dragon, come forth from this grave. As this blast of cold energy flies out, Dilly, as you land within the squares, you have landed, unfortunately, in a zone of death. Could you make a fortitude save, DC 20, please?
I'm sorry, I've landed in a... What?
What?
The area inside the skulls.
No, I probably can't.
It's a zone of death. For fuck's sake.
No, of course I can't. I'm
You-
a halfling.
There is a sickening pop. As you... No, you take 2 negative levels.
Oh,
I
Oh,
so harsh!
shit.
Oh my god!
Oh my god. That's better than what I thought he was going to say.
Yeah, I thought you were done.
Dead.
No, you take 2 negative levels as
I
this
would
entire
rather be dead. I much prefer.
At least
having
you'd have to
characters
only
killed
maths it
than
dead.
just made crappier.
So unfortunately, that came the minute you landed. However, it's not your turn. It's now the Dragoons. I mean, the Dragoons have no reason other than to follow the dragon. So that's what they will do.
So, figure out what negative levels do.
Pretty much, in this instance, -2 to everything. So they can 5, 10, 15, 20. Oh, God. This Dragon can get to there and does have just enough reach for a lone attack. And this one as well, as much as they want to take advantage of their positions, they haven't got good... So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Hovers and swoops to there. This one, however, is going to go and attempt a bite on the aspect of Bahamut, whose armor class is 22.
Come on, aspect.
Let's go, aspect.
Oh, aspect was, there's an element of the aspect protecting Dilly and also having just blasted out that it was more susceptible to this attack, of which it does 11 points of damage to it. Some of that is resisted, fortunately.
Need to take care of those dragoons.
And at this point, Blackbone turns, and as it's been deflecting, I will not let you interfere with my allies' plans, as it immediately ushers out, within an instant, almost as if it's been quickened, a line of acid. Unfortunately, that affects Dilly, the Aspect, and the Dragon. There's a lot of collateral going on there.
We'll take that.
So, I need a reflex save. Can you
I'll handle the reflex save of the thingy, yeah.
Yeah, so the DC is 26 for half. The Aspect's reflex is 7.
Of course it is. 7.
Mm-hmm.
That's 12 in total.
Yeah, mine used to be quite good, but now I've had 2 negative levels.
The Dragon is very... Oh, you meet...
Come on, Dilly!
It is! You beat it for half damage. Do you have evasion?
No, I have evasion. I think no damage.
Dilly,
Come
you
on.
use the Aspect to take no damage from this, as the Aspect and the Dragon take full. As a line of acid just instantly erupts out for 34 points of damage.
Told you he was a dragon slayer.
He knows what he's doing. Except about going in that zone of death.
Apart from entering a zone of death, yeah.
I love that Nimble and Daydak are miles away to stare at watching the final fight.
Zone of death. That was a quickened action. You can see from a distance Blackbone detests this Aspect. It stands for everything that against its visions and ideals. And it is within range to unleash a full round of attacks. The Aspect's armor class is 23.
23.
Blackbone goes in, so... I'm copying this. Goes in with a bite.
For 39.
A claw.
38.
Another claw.
36.
A wing.
38.
Another wing.
Plus what? Oh my god.
Possibly a critical with the wing.
Nothing under 30 yet.
Look at
That's a
its
critical with wing.
bonuses, though.
And a slap from its tail.
28. It couldn't miss me, but tried.
And with a...
Odd.
I think I know what I'm doing with my turn.
41 gives it a critical multiplier plus 1, which means it hits for 1 bite, 2 claws, 1, 2, 3, 4 wings, and a tail slap. Right. Give me a moment.
I sort of thought we were going to go for one of these ones at the back and take the support out before we went for the big guy.
No, but I changed my mind because I was like, we need to use the breath weapon straight away to ensure that we hit multiple things with it.
So the stupid fucking dragon dropped me in a fucking zone of death directly in front of the big boss.
He died on you.
Fully surrounded, because this thing is going to die this round. It's just I'm fully surrounded by 3 dragons in a zone of death. I thought we were going to get dropped out near the back.
I did say, I was like, no, let's move so he uses the breath weapon. You then watch me do the cone from... You watch me do the cone, Matt. Come on.
After that onslaught, the aspect of Bahamut flickers in and out of existence, but still remains. Daydak, 5 hit points remaining.
That's all it needs.
As Blackbone unleashed upon this, you can see as well this whole time that Targen Clem is just sort of continuing to chant, "I please arise."
Oh my God's sake.
Sargus Darkweld, we must see your great presence. And as Blackbone has finished his assault, Nimble, what will you do?
Seeing the devastation brought on the aspect, Nimble begins summoning the second aspect.
Excellent. As you start chanting for the aspect of Tiamat.
I summon you.
And whereas Daydak, you felt a presence towards light, Nimble, you feel yourself getting pulled somewhere very dark, as if there is fire surrounding you, as if you're being pulled into the hells themselves. But
God, I didn't like this.
That's your full round. It is now Clem's turn. And Clem, without uttering a word, I say to you, please rise, great Sargus. And as he does this, he gestures with his finger as he silent casts a fireball.
For fuck's sake.
I'm going exactly what I have here.
Where's that going?
Right
Maybe going
on, directly on top of the aspect of Bahamut.
You mother...
He wants to get
Hey,
rid.
I reckon you stand a better chance of dodging this than you did the breath weapon, actually. So I rate
you
you.
do.
Yeah, I rate your
Maybe.
chances here, Dilly. Come on.
I mean...
Oh dear.
It's happening. It's happening, but...
Oh no, he wouldn't. He'd cast it here. But it does that... Basically, he's casting it far enough away that it doesn't get his ally. It does mean it gets both Dragones.
Both of his other allies.
his other allies, yeah, I was going to say.
Yes, he cares
Give it
about
to
his mount, not the Dragones. There is a DC of 19
Yeah, come on,
for
Dilly.
half damage on the fireball. And if you could please do that for the aspect as well.
I mean...
Of course, he rolled 17, so...
Okay.
I mean, of course.
I'll
take it.
Both the Dragones fail this. They will take the full whack of the fireball. Please, could you roll me
Does the aspect have evasion?
+7. Nope.
And it's definitely dead.
Yes, +7, please, Daydak.
It's
On
dead, right?
its...
It's not gonna.
Michael, it's dead.
You don't know that.
It doesn't have evasion. It will still take damage,
No,
and it
Michael.
fails the
He's dead.
save.
You all take full damage.
He's dead, Michael.
I know he's dead. I just wanted to do this properly. As you all take 36 points of fire damage.
Oh, that's horrible. That's really horrible.
Get out of the zone of death.
Yeah, it's not been my turn yet.
I know.
Oh, we
Die.
killed one of the dragons though, so that's something.
As this fireball explodes, and he's just looked to one side and silently cast this fireball, the aspect dissipates into bright light and
How much damage was it, though? 36?
36. The other dragon is barely clinging on. Barely clinging on.
I'd already dropped 10 hit points from the 2 negative levels.
You're still alive, though.
He's fine.
Not fine. Fine is an overstatement, but I am still alive.
Cool.
Yeah, don't get excited yet, Michael.
Just
Look at him, he's getting all flush.
He's like, it's been a year.
It's been so long since I've murdered with these hands.
I can feel them. I can feel them on my throat, Michael.
Mine and Dom's misery was only like a nicotine patch compared to the beautiful cigarette smoke that you will be, Matthew. He's been waiting.
He was like, you take 2 negative levels.
There is a thirst that is to be select.
Hey, this is the module.
Let's go. Let's have it.
Dilly. He continues to chant. It is your turn, Dilly.
Okay, well, I'll probably best get out of the zone of death. I feel like there should be a sign, caution, zone of death.
There's a whole square of skulls surrounding it, if that helps. But
May
It's a
experience
ritual site.
death.
I don't know. If that was the case, if you got negative levels every time there was a whole bunch of skulls, you'd suffer a lot in the graveyard, wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
I kind of feel the aspect should have known, to be honest, but never mind. Never mind.
The aspect was encouraged to do its breath weapon.
Right,
Yes, Rob, it's your fault.
Miguel.
It's my
Yes.
fault. Yeah.
I'm struggling to get an idea of where he is.
5 foot step, mate.
No, it's not that. I mean, I could 5-foot step, but I'd be in his space. Is that I have a reach weapon, right?
Yeah.
I need to know what actual space he is occupying, and it's quite hard to tell.
Oh, I
because of
see.
his
He's
shape
on an
and
angle.
stuff. What specific shapes? So he is.
Okay, technically, this square here is his corner.
That's his corner, right?
Yes.
That's good because that means then I can take a 5-foot step to there and attack him.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, which is a good thing.
Because then he might have to go in his own zone of death.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure if this one counted as his space or not. But if it counts as his space, that is good. I have my weapon, and I mean, I just don't know. I just.
Sorry, that's his recharge for the breath weapon because he quickened it. I forgot to do that.
Okay, I'm going to go with a bone crusher attack.
Ooh.
I don't know what it's going to do. Well, actually, as I'm moving, I am shifting myself into giant killing spree stance.
Mm-hmm.
Because really, I don't stand any chance of hitting it at all, I don't think, unless I do that. Which adds +2 to my attack, which being shaken had taken off, but the heroism had put on, but the 2 negative levels have taken off, but my stance is put back on. So I'm now just breaking even. So my attack is just bog standard.
Cool. Do you want to? Are you going for Blackbone? Well, of course, his armor class. I'll tell you now. It's 29.
Yeah. Oh shit. Let me just. I think we're going to need to be like flanking him or something to get the bonuses for flanking if we're ever going to hit him.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to roll 13 or higher. No, 14 or higher. Go. No, I don't do it. 26. So that maneuver is gone.
Yes, as he's able to quite effectively pull away
Jesus.
from that.
I mean, I haven't got low hits. I'm quite a hard-hitting character. I mean, even with the negatives and stuff, I'm sort of breaking even with what I've got on, and even then I can't hit that. It's such a high armor class. That's bonkers. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do much to this thing, boys. Unless we
It's alright, we've got another dragon on the way.
can flank it in some way.
I'm on my way. Sort of.
That's take me
Sort of.
Sort of in the sense I'm quite far away.
I'm sort of on the way. We are back at the top of the round. Daydak, you've just seen there has just been an explosion of breath weapons, back and forth, fireballs, and then there's a big expulsion of light as soon as the aspect was gone, 1 round later, gone. What do you do?
I'm really sorry. I literally just changed my mind like 3 seconds ago what I was going to do. The normal range of a longbow, I am well within range to just attack normally.
Yes.
That would do nothing. I can't sneak attack from where I am with my longbow.
No, 30 feet is
30
your sneak.
feet is where I need to be.
Unless you've got any feats or
Well,
abilities.
this is the thing. I can double the range increment of my weapon if I want.
Okay.
So with that,
Oh, we agreed, didn't we? That would increase. Yes,
that's what
remember.
I've asked you, and it's not come up until this very point. So I hope it doesn't look like but we have discussed this.
We have spoken about
So
this.
will
Yes.
that mean that my sneak attack range then becomes 60 feet?
I think we agreed that was the case.
So in that case, I need to get to this square here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Shit, no. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I can't get to that square. I'm literally 5 feet outside of it if I did that.
Wait, are you trying to get to...
Get within 60 feet of range. Oh no, that's 35.
You only need to take one... You can take a 5 foot
I
square.
did a 5 foot step. I'm such a moron. I was looking. In that case, I will take a free 5 foot step.
Mm-hmm.
And I will loose an arrow.
At who?
That's a good question.
The dragon or the chanting caster?
That will bring about another dragon, a even more powerful dragon if we let him. So I'm going to try and shoot Targen Clem. Daydak doesn't like the man for tricking them at the very beginning of this tale. So he will let fly an arrow at his... Well, you tell me, is it just his normal armor class, or is it I'm sneak attacking him?
You are hiding at 43 when you're unleashed this shot. He cannot spot you. And it doesn't matter. I haven't rolled for Blackbone to spot you. So it's
What's his armor class that I'm hitting?
He is flat-footed, which means you can see as you shoot. You can make out that there seems to be some spectral armor upon his person, but it also looks like there's a hovering shield in front of him. But you are striking him flat-footed, which means just his armor comes into effect. 14.
That's handy because I add plus 14 to my strike. I need only not roll a 1 to ensure that this hits.
Q.
I roll a 3, but it's still
Potential calamity, but not. As the arrow connects with Clem. You do notice as the arrow connects, it looks like stone on his skin seems to ripple across.
And of course, my other thing is making sure that my attack lands with the sneak attack, which is, I didn't state it, so it is just a standard sneak attack for this one. Mm-hmm. Bam! 13 points of piercing damage. That's very underwhelming. Onto Targen Clem.
You notice as that arrow hits, his stone skin seems to absorb some of that hit. But it does do a bit of, and you can see him as he continues to maintain the cast. Oh, great Sagas Darkworld, please arise! As his other hand starts to deal with the wound. But he is still going.
That's my turn.
You were firing from the bush, weren't you?
Yeah.
So you're still technically hidden.
In the bushes.
I mean, I did a 5-foot step, but I'm still in active camo, surrounded by forestry, so...
Yeah. I mean, he won't be able to make that spot check unless they do something.
Sure.
Excellent stuff there, Daydak. As you chip away at Targen Clem.
You're very kind. I didn't think of it very good at all.
The Dragon sees a target in front of it. And I believe it only has a 5-foot reach. Yes, which means it takes a 5-foot step. As this lion-like creature steps across to you, Dilly, and goes for a full round of attacks on you. What's your armor class, please?
Just checking. It hasn't been affected, which it hasn't. So my armor class is a 26.
Okay.
Come on.
Comes in with a bite.
Let's go.
Oh,
Heroism doesn't affect your armor class, does it?
Don't think so.
Nope.
No.
But that is a clear miss.
And then 2 claws come at you as well.
Stick right up your arse.
Matched it. Didn't
Hits,
exceed it.
but does not exceed. I like to think that one did actually hit you, but just didn't get through your armor.
Didn't get through my armor. Yeah.
It didn't get through the swole.
My beautiful, beautiful armor.
As this Dragon attempts to maul you, but how do you dodge and deflect all of those attacks?
Oh, literally, it's just like really, really quick, isn't it? They're just coming in. Boom, boom, boom. One of them just scrapes across the chest. But like as it does so, you can see like this armor that he's got on underneath. Although it's got these burns, it is stunningly beautiful armor.
Mm-hmm.
Like the artistry that's gone into making this armor is really, really good.
It's
It just quickly jogs out of the way of one of them. Sorry,
He's going to find a way for that armor to be destroyed.
Yeah, I know,
I
right?
can find a grave.
Whatever, go ahead.
Or a black and with almost like a ferocity of a lion and a big cat, it tries but does not succeed. Blackbone. Oh. I mean, give me a moment. So your hide was 43. Can Blackbone actually succeed on that check? You know what?
Yeah, come on then, Blackbone. Come for me. Come on.
I don't think he can, but there is a chance. No. Blackbone, I don't think even perceived the arrow being shot at Clem and instead focuses upon you. Oh, Dilly, you are 5, 10. It has reach of 10 feet.
Well, it'd be able to get me from there then. I've got a reach of 5 feet.
Yeah.
10 feet, sorry, I've got a reach of 10 feet.
Yeah,
I got
it can just
so it can get me
lunge
from there,
at
yeah, no
you.
problems. Yeah, I might be dead, boys. Because with those attacks, it's only got to roll
Like
2
4,
on its lowest.
Yeah.
To actually
You
hit
know,
me.
I am really sorry
And
because
I think it's going to get me with each and every attack. So,
it,
do it.
Don't believe
Yeah.
this.
It's
Hey, do
doesn't
it.
have anything else to do. Right, it comes
Go on,
in.
Mike.
Relish it,
Look
mate.
at him. Look at him. I'm glad the camera's not pointing down because it would be inappropriate for YouTube. Look at him. Look at him. Every time. Every single time. This is not how I thought
It comes in to bite
at
you.
all.
That was low. He rolled low. He's going to roll pathetically.
He'd
for the
roll
rest of
low. It
these.
doesn't matter because he still got me.
Well, the rest will miss.
Doesn't matter.
Comes in with 1
They
claw,
won't. They won't. It's got to roll a 2.
a second claw, a wing.
Oh, 26.
A second.
Matches doesn't exceed.
So second claw misses, first wing hits, second wing,
1, I blocked 1 attack.
and a tail slap.
Oh god.
Oh, God.
Oh,
You dodge
mate.
1 claw.
I'm so utterly dead. It's not even funny.
Do you have damage reduction or anything?
Damage reduction.
What a
hang on.
stupid
I don't know if I'm a maneuver.
What a stupid
Yeah, no, I have, but I didn't take that maneuver, mate. I'm not going to mess around with my maneuver. Could cheat, but not going to. My maneuvers aren't. I've never used maneuvers, so I don't really know exactly how they work. But I didn't have the chance to swap them out really for this particular
Fair enough.
situation. I wasn't
discounted
planning
that.
on going head to head and being surrounded by 3 dragons while being in a. You know, at the end of the day, this is a really shitty situation. To be
It is a shitty situation.
I think any one of us, if ended up where I am now, would be dead.
Yeah, I don't think
3,
there's any
2,
way.
I was
1.
hoping to just be more effective. Yeah, I'm very dead.
76 points of damage.
I had 34 hit points left, so
Oh, minus
he
40.
literally mulches. Poor Dilly.
Dilly,
We really appreciate the
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. I'll see you in the new year.
Yeah, see you later, mate. Yeah.
Happy
Bye-bye
Christmas
now.
to Mike.
as Dilly, you are. Well, is there a final thought that goes through Dilly's mind?
Yeah, fuck you.
Before we-
That's what the one is. Yeah.
You fucking asked. Don't ask if you don't want the answer.
Fair enough. As Dilly utters a final fuck you to the universe.
Dilly's final thought. I mean, to be honest with you, I've not really had enough time to build the character. he's not really had enough time to be deep enough to have a final thought.
That's
His
okay.
final thought. Oh, his final thought. What would it be?
As all of these are, and let's dig up.
Where are the others?
I want him to have some really odd final thought that no one will understand because no one knows who the hell he is.
If you have a
It
final
was
thought,
in-
you can utter
It was
a
in the
word.
basement. It was in the basement the whole time.
And as he's getting mauled, he turns in the direction of the two of you. It was in the basement. It was in the basement the whole time. And then, as Dilly is turned to mulch in front of the two of you.
No. Oh no.
Nice. Really
Was
nice.
So fucked.
I don't have sad music for a Let's Dig Up because that's kind of what we do with these. They just
Come
We
on.
just die.
Let's go.
Nimble.
Oh,
Your
mate,
turn
look at those
starts.
attacks. Jesus Christ.
And as you start your round, you immediately finish conjuring from the depths of hell an aspect of Tiamat. As the five-headed dragon appears before you, it will act on your turn.
Great.
And controlled by Nimble. I've also given control to Dilly. Do behave. And it appears next to you as these
If you've
five...
given me control, why? Why would you do that to yourself?
So you can continue
You
to
can-
engage.
You can control the dragon that'll last a turn. And
I
it might
don't.
get
I
thoroughly
don't want your pity dragon.
Fine. You know...
Mike's like, Matthew, feel free to log off.
You can go now.
What aspect? What aspect did you get? Pity. That's the aspect.
You know that this creature with a full attack can make 5 bites. It can also breathe 2 breath weapons at the same time once per day. It can breathe 2 40-foot cones, 1 fire, 1 electricity, 1 cold, or 1 acid. You can choose.
Why the hell didn't we summon this one first?
Yes.
This is way better.
The DC is 1 lower, but yeah. 2 40-foot cones, 8d6. Yeah. And you can do 2 once per day. Either 2 at the same time, or 1 then the following round, another 1. Your turn, Nimble. What are you going to do?
Can we do the Halfling Drop Squad Part 2 and get...
Yes, but this dragon can only fly 50 feet.
Oh, what?
He's clumsier than Bahamut. Oh, not into the zone of death.
Don't fly through or in or anywhere
Can't
near
even
the
reach
zone of
the
death.
zone of death.
Good.
And it double move and still uses breath weapon.
No, because that's a standard action to use 1 or 2.
No.
But it does have 40-foot range, so if you get to there, it would actually be in range.
Sweet, let's do that.
Um,
Where was it there?
One square back.
There.
Yeah. And then, yes, you can get both in a 40-foot cone from there. And what you can do, as mentioned, you could use 2 breath weapons at once, or 1, then another round, use another one.
I don't think there's any point waiting, is there?
No. What do you want to channel? You've got 4 elements here. Acid, cold, electricity, or fire.
Matthew, you look like you have an idea of...
In my for some reason, I've got in my head something about black dragons and acid.
Yeah, they're resistant to acid.
They breathe acid, so it would make sense for them to be resistant to acid. So
You did
ignore-
see it breathing acid as
so
well.
ignore-
Oh, so yeah, we
acid.
saw. Yeah.
Most things are resistant
don't
to
do
fire,
acid.
aren't they?
Dragons
yeah.
are pretty much all resistant to fire, so maybe like
Cold and electricity.
So why not?
Snowstorm. Yeah, fuck it.
Yes.
Let's do that.
And you do both electricity and cold. So we'll start with the cold. So there's a reflex save of 20 for both Targen Clem and Blackbone. Clem is 5, Blackbone is 13.
I thought these were divine aspects of fucking... What are they playing at?
This is the template.
They're being stingy.
Clem
bit.
meets but does not exceed.
Good. That's important.
Unfortunately, Blackbone does exceed, so only takes half of the cold. And then of the lightning, Clem utterly fails,
Yeah,
and
fucking
Blackbone passes. So Blackbone takes half of both. So they do 8d6 each Targen Clem will take full, Blackbone will take half.
27,
So 27 cold
33.
and 33.
Nice.
So that's 26 and 32. So that's 13 and 16. As you land, you see these two breath weapons, lightning and cold, shoot out, and the dragon is able to block. And Clem, who has been chanting now for the past couple of rounds, I can see the arrival of the great dragon. As Clem is blown not only off the back, but utterly destroyed by the two breath weapons. And as Clem falls back, Blackbone just looks, and then a fury is cast upon his eyes as his friend has been slain, but the ritual has been stopped. Nimble, you flew, landed. I'm guessing that's your turn?
Well, technically, that's not any actions on my part, is
No.
it?
The
So
dragon
what are you
picked
going
him
to...
up and dropped him. He's not done anything.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to take a 5-foot step here,
Uh-huh.
which brings me within 20 foot of this little guy.
Can't forget the Dragon.
Yeah. Nimble's hands filled with blades.
Right, let's see how much into the negative you can do this. Max, you're in
Knifeling
for a treat.
returns.
Your touch is 11.
Touch is 11. I'm going to take 10 of
Steady.
these. So do now.
Steady.
So I'm going to do a power throw, and all the rest of it. I'm going to take 10 off.
10 off, okay. Yep,
12.
that's 2 hits.
12.
That's 2 hits.
16.
Another 2 hits, so 6 hits against the Dragon. The palm, he throws 2 in 1.
Oh, that should have been +2 as well, actually. Forget that.
All,
Doesn't matter.
all of them hit.
Here we go.
So that's... I should have chosen an easier number. Okay, I've done it. 81 points of damage.
At minus 75, how do you utterly disintegrate this Dragon?
Just like daggers fill the air and just like cut bits off it, and it just like it just gets squatted basically by tiny halfling daggers.
Yep. As this Dragon had been attacking Dilly, and then out of nowhere,
Yeah, Nimble's like, Dilly, no! Over there, and then when he gets closer, he's like, for Dilly!
and as soon as the Dragon drops, all the knives just vanish. As Targen is dead. As we go back to the top of the round, Daydak.
Killed our friend, Daydak.
Okay,
Get him.
I'm going to... 5... I think I'm... No, I was in range anyway there, wasn't I? I was in range of Clem's, I'm in range of the beast.
Uh-huh.
He's going to knock another arrow, and this time he is going to spend the maximum level of his power points that he can. To, if he is successful, add 10d6 points of sneak attack damage onto the strike if he hits. Which is the maximum that he can do.
On Blackbone.
On Blackbone, 100%.
Flat-footed.
No, on Nimble.
Revenge for leaving me to die. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Flat-footed, 29.
Flat-footed, 29. Well, it's a good thing that that's just one of the things that I'm using. So I'm using the stunning attack, but I'm also using the... Is it insightful? I think it is. Where the hell has it gone? What is it called? Really sorry, I did have it right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so 29 to give me a plus 6 onto my attack, and plus 10 d6. So I'm spending 29 power points. Oh wait, no, I can't.
You can't spend more than your level.
But on one power or on both powers that I'm using?
Oh, I think the boring one is combined, but...
No, that's fine. No, that's fine. In that case, I'll just attack normally. So 29 to hit him.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Easy to touch.
I don't think I'm going to be able to hit him, I don't think.
He's tough as nails. He is absolutely
we'll
hardcore.
see. Possibly a critical.
Confirm it.
No.
Just a hit.
So, that is 1d8 plus my 3d6 sneak attack damage, and then the additional 10d6 on top of that. So 13d6. So what? This is as close to going Nova as the Lurk can go. Plus 13d6. Bring us fortune. 48 points of piercing damage.
A lot of ones, but a lot of sixes.
Yeah, as an arrow from on high is loose. And you know what? It's not one of those direct shots. It's one where he has to like fire up, and the arrow goes up, and then it's the cinematic camera view following the arrow down, and bam, slams into him.
Excellent.
That was a lot of power points.
That was a lot of power points. What is it? No, it's ionically infused, which means it's a magic shot.
Yeah.
As this sneak attack carries forth and seems to find a gap in Blackbone's scales, and your creature lets out an acidic hiss, and you just see like acid just foaming in its skeletal face. It is its turn, and at the moment it doesn't have any real reason to consider retreat just yet.
Well, I attacked it, so bring it on.
So did the aspect, though.
And the thing is,
yeah.
Blackbone responds violently to the aspect in front of it, and quite frankly, couldn't give two shits about the rest of you there.
That's rude.
Its focus, I know, I'm very sorry, but its focus
Worth killing.
Weird, dude.
is on the aspect, and he hops over to here with the beat of its wings. He knows what's around here. And as it lands, is going to take 5 off its bite to attempt a power attack.
Has it moved?
Yes. So it's just doing 1 bite.
Not for me, he hasn't.
Oh.
Yeah, he has moved.
So everything's frozen since he died.
Yeah, absolutely. Sort of seems like that way.
Yeah.
So the aspect of Tiamat has 23 as an armor class.
Oh, there we
Well,
And by
that's
taking
alright then, isn't
5 off, it attacks on plus 23. So just needs to not critically fail. And does.
Oh, dear.
For 28 points of damage against it. Which you can see the aspect recoils as its 5 heads just hissing at this creature that dares defy it. Nimble, it's your turn.
I think probably the aspect of Tiamat's going to fight back, right?
Yeah. It can do 5 attacks.
Great. Matt, do you want to roll them so that you have something to actually
Yes, Matthew.
contribute? It's not pity, it's just...
Each attack rolls at
Perfectly fine.
Plus what?
plus 16.
Plus 16, shoot.
Do it
Yeah,
too.
but I mean, they're the same as the attacks I have. Actually, the same as my attacks. How many are they?
It's
5.
He's here.
5.
Reincarnated as a dragon.
31.
One hit.
Oh,
Yes!
That's a miss.
28.
That's a miss.
26.
Jeez.
29.
That
Damn
meets
it!
but does not exceed. Only
34.
one attack finds.
34.
Did I not do? I did 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, the 34. The last one was a 6th attack. I thought it was 5, so there's only 1 attack.
You can either take the first one or the last one.
No,
Yeah.
I'll take the first one. The first one, it's fine. The first one was legit. Hey, you know, to be fair, with its armor class at 29, I'm glad just impressed one of them hit.
Yeah.
That is 2d6 plus 3.
Go on then.
Do him.
Here comes a bit of pity damage. 10.
Oh, is it actually a... It is, yes, it's fine. It bypasses its damage reduction, so that's a good...
10 points of damage that just goes... Oh, as it hits. Oh.
There is. As the dragon just... Oh. Nimble.
And then Nimble is going to take a step forward and be like, "You killed my friend. You might not have known him very long, but you're still my friend." And then I'm going to do power throws.
Yeah, touch is 8. You look. You unless you roll a 1, you're gonna touch him.
Shall I take maximum off then?
You may as
do it-
well. Come
Yeah.
on, Nimble.
Take maximilian off.
The Knifeling.
15.
You touch. You
26
threat.
possible critical. Fail.
You hit, so it's 4 normal hits.
18 possible critical.
Another threat.
12.
And a crit.
Yeah.
So, roll me the critical multiplier twice to see what your 2 daggers do then.
I don't have to confirm it twice, didn't we say that?
Oh, my apologies. Yes, you do have to confirm it twice.
Yeah. 3.
Just 1. So 1 attack does critical multiplier plus 1.
So.
Oh my god.
9?
8. 9. Yeah?
9, yep. And this is where I just agreed to you that your attacks are magic, which is going to be useful.
It
for
was
my
what you agreed, yeah.
Literally just.
15 times. 136 points of damage.
It's the plus 117.
Yeah, because it's 9 times 13.
That's so insane.
How are all your attacks on touch armor class?
Because I have as a master thrower, I have thrown weapon tricks, and one of them is weak spot, which turns the ranged attack to a ranged touch attack, but you take the strength of the damage.
It's
Incredible.
ridiculous.
It's incredible.
But you take the strength off the damage, but you're still doing 117 extra.
Power throw.
Because I'm using power throw.
It's like power attack for throw weapons.
Yeah.
Don't question it, Chew. It's fine.
Wow, indeed.
Too carefully.
That seems insane.
Yeah,
The
it's
dragon.
massively empowered. I'd only play it in a silly campaign.
The dragon is eyeing up this aspect of Tiamat, and then out of nowhere is almost defeated by an onslaught of knives from this halfling as it's buckled and brought onto its hind knees, and it just seems to look in absolute awe, horror, and disgust at you, Nimble. How could a halfling almost drop me? As its eyes are now on you. But, Daydak.
So I trained in the circus, so I know how to deal with clowns.
Excellent stuff. Daydak.
Daydak knocks an arrow, will do exactly the same thing. He doesn't have the power points to do as much damage this time.
You don't need to extend the range, though.
But I don't need to extend the range, but that doesn't, Oh! You're absolutely right. That means I can add another effect onto it. Which, to be honest, I don't think really gives me much more of a... Oh! I am going to use a solid strike, which turns the Lurk's attack, gets an extra 2 points of damage for every power point spent. So I'm going to add the rest of my power points onto the sneak attack. So that is going to be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Remember 10 plus plus an extra 5d6 in addition to my normal. So it's going to be 8d6 plus 10 if I hit, okay? 8d6 plus 11, sorry, because of my strength added on top of the composite longbow as well.
So whatever your damage, so 1d8 plus 8d6 plus 11. If you hit.
Yes, if I hit. 29 to hit.
Meets, but does not exceed.
He doesn't know I'm there? Oh shit, no it's not, is it? Fuck. No. Shit.
I'm very sorry.
No, that's it. I'm out. That's me.
As this shot just flies over, it is now Blackbone's turn. And Blackbone is going to provoke an attack of opportunity from the aspect of Tiamat.
Please. Why? Oh, he's leaving a threat range and going into attack.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't need to leave his threat range, does he, to attack?
He's not attacking the aspect.
Mm-hmm.
He's within range of attacking.
Do you want to take the attack of opportunity?
Do it.
Go on, Dilly.
Why are you looking at me? It's not my aspect. I'm dead.
You're
rolling
You want to take the attack of opportunity? Do it. Was it plus 16?
Mm-hmm.
Ha no.
One bite comes in as Blackbone screams at the top of its lung, "You will rue the day!" As its wings, boom, as Blackbone flies and continues to fly. As Blackbone
Hey, he's not out of range yet.
Away.
He's not out of range yet.
Well, let's see. Blackbone can fly 150 feet.
Jesus.
Okay, a longbow's range is... A composite longbow's range is 110 feet, so I can move on my turn and shoot him.
Okay, I'm going to say, as he's flying away, you've got one shot.
I know I only have one shot.
Can I take a dagger shot after that? But a negative of
The
range
minus. I think you'd be at. Oh god, it's -2 for every 10 feet. So you'd be at
130
minus.
feet away or outside, so it'd be -26.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's over my tokens.
Critical.
Daydak watches the beast take flight, draws, and fires a normal attack. No power points because he doesn't have any. Just a normal shot. 29 to hit, yeah?
Yeah.
So 30
Well,
to hit, yeah.
30 to hit.
Bring me fortune. No. Just
And with a final
misses
shot.
totally.
Your arrow misses in the final moment, but with that, as Blackbone flies away, you find yourself, in the greater scheme of things, victorious. In the few rounds that pass, the aspect returns to flame.
Do the eggs still exist, or are they cracked open and
It's actually a bit like what happens to the Dragon Balls in Dragon Ball Z. The eggs have actually turned to stone, and after a while will become usable again, but for the time being, they're not usable.
wow.
So we went through all that crap in the first place to get them, and they summoned those things.
They're breath weapons, all right?
I mean, I don't want to, piss on anyone's strawberries, but those were really summons. They were really not very good.
Statistically outmatched by the amount of things that we were fighting. Absolutely.
Massively. Yeah. I mean, an 11th level ranger could summon things that were on par with what you had there.
Sadly, we didn't randomly
good.
roll a ranger, unfortunately.
Yeah. They just weren't that good.
So there you go.
Nimble, we were victorious, but at the cost of our brave friend Dilly.
Yeah. To be fair, we only knew him a couple of days, though.
Aye, that's true, but a mighty fine dragon slayer he was.
He was very good at dragon slaying, except that one big dragon.
Except that one big dragon, aye, but he did us a service in dying.
He did a good job.
He did a good service in taking the fight to them, which bought us time enough to summon the aspects to stop the Dracolich from being summoned. It is only by Dilly's sacrifice that we are successful.
Bullshit.
Yeah, it was definitely because he got killed.
If Dilly had just been dropped 5 feet to the left, he might have been all right.
It's almost like I'm trying to spin the narrative to avoid those questions. Don't think about it too. Nimble, look at me. Don't think about it too much.
It was a heroic sacrifice.
In the eyes of the Dragon Lord Meepo, and in my personal opinion, we have vanquished the evil. Oh, he actually tore it off. No, he's tearing him in half.
Dilly.
No.
All that work,
Dilly the
Michael.
Banished.
Do you know how much work that took? I've never made one
How
of
hard
those
it
before.
is.
It was really hard, and I have to look after a child as well. See what you did.
Right up
See
to
what
the
you
big dragon.
did.
Just straight into the heart of dragon territory. I'm just going to go right there.
Straight in.
Not at all what I'd intended. And I also was like, no, it's just going to drop me here.
You agree? I did
Matt,
check.
How much damage did you take in that fight?
How much what?
How much damage did you take in that fight?
Well, I had 80 hit points overall, was my maximum. And then I took 10 points off of my maximum because of the 2 negative levels. You take 5 points off per negative level. And then I took a further...
70.
Shall I find the bit of my character sheet that's got my health on it?
It's not.
I
it's
took
not
like a
actually
further...
vital.
No, I took like 30... 36.
You had 36 and you took 70, I think. I think it was like double again.
No, but I'd taken some before, so I'd taken the 10 points in the first place.
Okay.
And then I took 34, I think. 36 I'd taken from the fireball.
Oh, yeah.
So like you got
120?
fireballed as well,
And then I took another 76
and torn
points
to
of damage on
pieces.
top of that.
Yeah. So you took
So yeah,
quite a
I
lot
got
of damage.
So basically, what happened in that fight was put in a zone
just
of
before
death,
you,
set on fire,
You got
and
Yeah.
ripped to pieces
yeah.
in the space of 2 rounds.
Just in case
That is
anyone
what
was
happens
wondering,
when Mike doesn't see me for a year.
in case anyone was wondering how you can definitely tell he was going to kill Matthew and was laser focused on that. Rob, how many hit points did you lose?
I appeared to be untouched.
And so was I. So
Mike, you are an arse. Such an asshole.
In this instance,
I love that it's
Go
so
on,
many
Mike,
things
just
as well.
defend yourself.
It's so many things. It's dropped in a zone of death, a literal zone of death, then set on fire, and then torn to pieces by a dragon. It's like literally 3 things.
if you hadn't gone with the dragon, you worked your way around, would have probably been different.
Yeah, but I would have. The thing is, it would have taken about 6 rounds to get over there.
Yeah.
I wanted the fight to start, so I was like, if I could be a little bit closer, I was intending on fighting one of the small ones.
See, it did.
Didn't want to go head to head.
I didn't decide where the dragon was going. That was Rob.
I did decide where it was going, but listen, I saw the circle. Okay.
Yeah.
So I thought, oh well, at least you're there. You're not going to be dropped in the fiery thing, which I myself determined
obviously
would
I
be
was
the
like,
threat.
I'm not going to stand in the fiery
I'm
pit of
sorry,
death
I
there.
didn't think about dropping you into the skulls. I would
I
like to
didn't
point
think that
out,
either.
however, that I am not in possession of the dragon aspect's divine nature. I would argue that the divine nature of the dragon would have known that it was flying into a zone of death personally, but you know what? This is a learning experience. We can take.
I made the suggestion of what I wanted to fight, and when you then said, "No, we're going to use the breath weapon and go against the big black dragon," I could have said, "Well, in that case, I won't do that." But I just went along with what you were saying because I thought, whatever, and I didn't expect to be dropped in a zone of death. So,
Look,
we're all a little bit at fault, aren't we?
This is one of those
It's
situations.
mostly Mike.
I was running.
Now let's
them
not
off.
get wrapped over who dropped who in what.
Yeah, let's not forget who was puppeteering the whole shebang every time. Let's not forget all the other ways that he's killed every other character I've ever made. Slow head pulls.
Slow head pulls. Nimble. I reckon
Missed you too.
I reckon we'll cash in a big reward for this transgression. Let's take everything on Clem, as I'm sure he's a wealthy man. And let's strip the ingredients of all these dead dragons as well, and we'll have ourselves a pretty penny to spend in market.
If we ever come back to Nimble and Daydak,
And
absolutely.
we could resurrect Dilly. We could use that money to resurrect our friend.
Or we could move.
Or we could move on
Move on.
with our lives and forget he ever existed.
Make a small donation in his name.
to the Church of Bahamut. On whose wings did
You'll
Baron
get a bench for Dilly at the Church of Bahamut.
He'll have bench.
pew.
He'll
He's
have
going to get a bench. Oh, God.
The banished bench.
Dedicated to Dilly.
I wonder why I was banished.
He will always be banished.
Didn't he say something about a basement? I swear he said something about a basement, Nimble.
I think he did say something about a basement,
Is
yeah.
that an
before he
adventure
died.
for next module? Look, it's called Dilly's Basement. Challenge rating 20.
Next time. Right. Get your pens ready then. So, in terms of what you find, That's quite over the top. Let's just go to... There we go. You find he has in his persons a dagger, a light crossbow, and an amulet of health +2, a cloak of resistance +2, a circlet of charisma +2. It is as a cloak of charisma, but double the price because it's been put into a circlet. 3 potions of undetectable alignment.
So we wouldn't have known he was evil anyway. I feel better about that.
A saddle of the cavalier,
Cavalry.
which he had on his person when he fell off the back of...
Say it again. The
He was
saddle of...
clutching it too close.
Yeah, saddle of the cavalier.
Aye. Strapped in, was he?
Aye. He also has 1,000 gold pieces in diamond dust for stone skin spells.
Oh, he's fancy. He actually uses the components.
He does. Are you doing any search checks or...
No.
Cool.
Yeah,
you
go
can
on.
have all the stuff off of Dilly.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah. Just,
I mean, you might as well.
just post us the pieces
No,
of your
no.
character sheet and we'll put it back together.
It's this one here. This bit here, it's got all of his magic items on it. You can have them. They're all there.
What are they?
Gloves of Dex +4.
Thank
Belt
you.
of Giant Strength +4. Periapt of Wisdom +2. +3 leather armor, which literally doesn't have any enhancement bonuses. It's just
+3 armor, yeah.
+3. A ring of protection +2. And a shocking burst Gisarm.
Guitar.
Gisarm.
Bring.
It's like a pole arm that does slashing damage that you can trip
It's got
with.
like a fancy little hooky thing on it, doesn't it?
Yes.
You can do trip attempts with it, but it's a reach weapon. You can't attack in adjacent squares. You have to be 10 feet away.
So I'm a shocking burst.
Shocking burst.
I know a dust blade that are like that.
It does 1d6 shock damage for every attack, but it also adds 2d10, I think,
Then, on a crit.
on a crit.
Okay.
Yeah, Nimble, you... the Dragones, there's not much you can really salvage for. You could probably, if you had survival, skin their pelts for a couple of hundred. But beyond that, no, you don't find anything else. Daydak, do you want to do a search for anything?
Just because we're wrapping up the module, if it was anything of note, I'm sure you can tell us anyway, but he will do a search.
Yes.
24.
24. That's a shame. You failed to hit the DC 25 search check to find
See.
Blackbone's cave with his dragon horde in it.
It's cave? That's illusionary over, is it?
Yes. You would have also found, along with all the other bits in there, a petrified dragon egg, which Dilly was looking for. I put it in there. But, alas, that hides away. And as Daydak and Nimble venture off, do they bury old Dilly, or do they just leave the carnage?
You should leave his
Parts of him.
carcass.
We've stripped him of his
What he would have wanted.
mortal world and just walk away. in our defence, is there anything left of Dilly, given that he was so drastically taken over his?
I think he was in several pieces.
Yeah.
Pieces, and I think several components of him are being
Okay, we'll just burn the area. Okay.
Fair enough.
Burn the whole
the
area.
whole
the
forest. Yeah.
Set fire to the forest.
Set fire to it all. Yeah.
It's the only way. It's the only way to be sure.
Only way to be sure.
And as you set fire to the Dragondown Grotto, knowing you have stopped the resurrection of Sagest Darkworld and halted Targen Clem, but not Blackbone, we draw this module to its conclusion. And thus we complete the Dragondown Grotto. As always with these things, we'll talk about thoughts on the campaign, and the campaign is part of the session. I'm loathed to start where I'm going to start, but Matt.
Yes, get the negativity out of the way first. No, I'm not at all negative, actually. And it was good. It's a good campaign. It's quite a steep difficulty curve, I think, near the end, because actually I felt like the combats before were hard in the ways that like had little gimmicks, so like things that made them difficult you could overcome. So you had obviously the basilisks where you are to look away, but you can still fight them, but it makes it more difficult because of the gimmick. And and even the green dragon, I mean, the green dragon was difficult, but not unbearably tough. It was certainly approachable in many ways. Where that last fight, the enemy had just some really high numbers, so you just kind of go, like, you have to really think, like, very difficult to, like I say, I feel like the same thing with the dragon as with the cadaver collectors. Like, we needed heavily armored heavy hitters that could get in there and be doing stuff with some support to boost them.
Well, I will say this as well. That last map actually had 4 Dragoons, and because of the numbers, I reduced it to 2.
Wow, Jesus! So that is rough. And with the obviously, man, I'm always put off when I write campaigns, and I think you guys are the same. I'm always a bit loath to put too much in the way of like negative levels and stat damage and stuff in, because it's like I said to you, I'd rather a character takes a mullering than a character gets slightly crapified. Do you know what I mean? Like, if it just makes you less effective, it just means that you're a little bit less, because it is a power fantasy at the end of the day. So and I think we've all felt it. You feel just a bit frustrated because you want to be able to go, all right, well, I'll try this, then I'll try that. And if you're just sort of made a bit less good at things.
Yeah.
Also, those stats are so hard to heal. They come back slowly unless you've got the right potion. Whereas with health, there's always ways to get your health back. There's always ways to heal. And you always take little potions. And we just need to take from that we always need to try and have more restoration potions and things like that. I guess it's all a learning curve, isn't it? But that's just how I feel about those things. They need to be so few and far between when they're used, because they can make you feel a bit deflated. In this case, obviously, it didn't really make me feel deflated because it's not a character that we were all. You don't. I like that character, actually. I wasn't expecting to quite. But I quite liked him as a character. He was kind of cool. The Sword Sage as a class is one that I've never even looked at, and it's not one I would normally go for, but definitely fun with the options you've got.
It's nice to see from my side of things, because I've obviously been playing one very much as a hand-to-hand, playing to the stealth and the assassin sort of characterization. So it's nice to see you taking it on a very much as that military side of that type of class as well, which is nice to see.
Yeah, it's very much kind of controlled and trying to control the situation of what he was doing and be sort of prepared and set. And
I mean, I do agree. I think those last two, especially the third map, especially was. I mean, I'm glad you went for the go in and gun it route because I think it would have got very messy if you'd done otherwise.
yeah,
But you went into the last map, and I mean, looking ahead, I was like, you've got this huge dragon right in the center. It's how do you navigate around that as well?
yeah, it's tough, isn't it? I think with a lot of these things, you want the last boss to be really, really hard, but then there's a steep curve. But if there isn't a steep curve, the bosses just before that would be hard to build up to it, and then you'd be weakened by the time you got to it. So it's difficult to get the balance right, and I don't know whether it did or not. It's kind of hard to say, largely because I didn't really get the chance to try much against it because I was eradicated so quickly. I like to think that maybe we'd have come up with something a bit different as a team, depending on how else we would have gone at it. But yeah, it was good. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good game. And I love the characters. Nimble that's insane. All that on touch, that is insane. That's wow. It's really
dangerous toy.
You come across these things sometimes, don't you? I mean, we had this with. Was it Rust that had the split damage with the split arrows and all of that?
7 acres.
Those where I was looking at it going, wow. And I've known a friend who had a thing where every time he did a jump attack, he could get a running jump attack and get full attack and add power and whatever. And he was doing upwards of 300 damage per hit. And I was just looking at it going, oh my God. So if you really look at the stats in these books, because there's so many, you can make Superman, basically. You can just punch a hole in anyone's head.
But the problem with it is, it's one of those things where, like, if you've got a hammer, every job looks like it needs a hammer. You just end up doing the same thing over and over again. It's not very interesting to play. It's good fun, like, for a nice short sort of module like this, because you can just do silly damage. It doesn't matter. But if we were playing in, like, the Knights of the Apocalypse, I'd get so bored. Just be like,
it's
throw daggers!
Spells like certain spells like knock and stuff on doors, isn't it? Well, once you've got it, you just kind of go, I don't need to figure out how to get the key and how to work the mechanism to unlock the door anymore. Just do the thing and it's done, Yeah. And so it can take away, but it doesn't always. I mean, Nimble was awesome, and I love the idea of the circus and stuff. Like, just literally, that's all he does is throw knives all day. So of course he's amazing at it. And Daydak with like PowerPoints, and I feel like he needed the right situation to shine. Yeah, and because it's a very short campaign, you don't always come across it. But like, he definitely had certain things that he was unbelievably good at. Like, they were never going to spot him. He might as well have been invisible.
Everything to do with the skills, absolutely, yeah. He was good at, but in terms of attacks and things, not so much. But I don't know. Do you have anything else to add, Matt?
No, that's me. Sorry, yeah.
No, don't be sorry. No. I just didn't want to start going into
But yeah, as you were. No, that's me.
Well, if you started, Rob, please carry on.
Yeah, I'm just checking. I didn't want to like cut over you, Matt. That's why. I overall really enjoyed Dragondown Grotto. Listen, I mean, it's hard, isn't it? Because we always just enjoy playing D&D. Like, that's why we do this. We love playing, so we're always gonna have a good time in that respect. In terms of the actual material, I enjoyed much more than a bad light. A bad light has set like a precedent for how you don't do a module. Matt, I don't know if you call that one, but that was a disastrous, like, in terms of like what it gives you as a DM.
Which one was that? Sorry, say it again.
It was a two-parter.
It was the double feature. Bad Light and Frozen Whispers, and Bad Light was just us going into a lighthouse filled with empty rooms. We'll tell you about it another time. The viewers will know our experience with Bad Light. But anyway, this one I felt was much better because it gave you a mission. I think it does what it says on the tin, which was, as I understand it, the fantastic locations range is designed to put it into your own world, which is exactly what I think you would need to do. This one doesn't. This one gives you the framework of the story and a loose adventure to go on, which is fine. but it doesn't have the depth of some of the setting-based things like White Plume Mountain and the Sunless Citadel, which are much more about the location and the lore and the story existing in that area. This is more drop it into your world and off you go. From here, you then go, oh, we need to go and defeat Blackbone. Oh, we need to go find the rest of the Talons of Tiamat. That's where if this was dropped into a game that we were running full time, that's where this strength of this module is that you can put it in and
you'd have a lot more scope with the locations to put in other areas of your campaign surround, because it's very much you go from A to B to C to done. And it'd be nice to go, actually, you have to do this, but en route, it's going to take you through another town or another village. And it'd be quite nice
to do that sometimes, though.
Yeah. I'd also quite like to bring Clem in early. Like, you get to know Clem from a lower level and as an established character, so he's got more weight when you go, oh, he really has been a bad guy the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's obviously harder because we randomly generated our characters. I suspect that if the three of us went away and built 3 characters that we wanted to run, we would probably have had an easier time in that fight. But the truth of the matter is, it was weighted against us in the fact that the aspects weren't really as powerful as perhaps that was alluded to. Maybe, I don't know. An aspect of a god to me, I think, oh, it's like a fucking this is the will of Bahamut itself, like imposing itself on this battlefield, like, and it didn't feel like that.
All aspects are actually challenge rating 10. They're designed as sort of like the first interaction with like the representation of a deity in a physical format at a low level, and it actually says to avoid using aspects once you get below level 9-10, because they'll feel quite underwhelming. They're the kind of thing you want to throw at like a level 4 party as this like, whoa, this creature, this thing.
That makes more sense.
I sort of feel like Rob, I think you're right, and they came across as underwhelming, and I think Mike's saying is because of our level and stuff. And I feel like it could have been where there's more of them, like, and instead of an aspect as a summon you get, all it does is it gives you some sort of bonus in the last fight. Like, you gain a certain aspect as a team, so you just get one stat that's like 1 point higher or something, because it would have had more of an impact on the fight. It would have felt like more of what we'd been doing, and every action we'd taken before had just given you a little bit extra, but you didn't have to get all of them.
Yeah, we
kind of thing.
We still would have lost had we not had them. Like, but we only won that because you and it went in, so that kept them where they were, which gave Nimble time to do the other summon, and it did a little bit of whittling. But that's my thoughts on the campaign. As to speak about the Lurk, I'm certain there are people out there that could play the Lurk way better than me, mechanically. But like, I don't know. Like, I think you nailed it earlier, Mike. I think the Lurk is an espionage character, not a fighting character. Like, if you look at all the Lurk's abilities, sure, there's a lot of them to go through. Sure, he can boost his sneak attack and stuff, but for what you're throwing into it to achieve what a rogue can do 6 times on a Tuesday or whatever, can just do without thinking about it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm doing double the effort to get minimum what another class could do. Any other psionic class, and I would probably be wiping the floor with enemies. But this one, I enjoyed the idea of the Lurk, and I like the character. Like, I like all of the characters that we've had, but the class itself was a little underwhelming. But maybe that was just me. Who knows?
You know, I also like the idea of the Lurk, and I think a psionic skill monkey has the potential there. And I agree. I don't think the Lurk's fully.
If you mix the psionic rogue and the Lurk together, homebrewed the shit out of that, you would have a wicked class, absolutely. But as it was, not as ideal.
It's the fact you got stunted sneak attack. If you got a rogue sneak attack progression, but you then have the psionic potential to enhance that further, that would be a different story. But yeah, it was just
maybe if he'd been in some urban kind of like city campaign,
just hiding and
Yeah.
spying and stuff like
more
that.
nooks and crannies and rooms and
Because even the bonuses that I was getting, like I'd have to spend a shitload of power points, and that would give me like a plus 2, like, and that's like one of my limited powers that I have per day. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, surely these could be a bit better, given I'm using my whole turn and these power points to do this. Anyway, I've gone on for ages, but overall, loved the material of the Dragondown Grotto itself, but I can see that it is definitely to be put into an existing adventure where it would spin off into other tales.
absolutely. And then lastly, wielder of the BFG, Dom.
Yes. It is. That's so accurate.
Yeah, so I think, Rob, you would have found the Lurk more fun if it was in White Plume Mountain.
Maybe, yeah, I think you're right.
Because I think I really enjoyed the first bit that we did in Dragondown Grotto for being a bit like, there was some skill stuff. There was no skill stuff after, basically,
Not really, no.
the first 20 minutes of it, I would say, probably.
Yeah.
It was quite
I don't
combat.
think I had to roll for skills ever.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah, exactly. And after you speak to Meepo, there was also no interaction with any characters. Which, you can add in, can't you, if you were integrating it into a wider campaign, but
Yeah.
I think that's where it sort of fell down for me. Like, I really enjoyed White Plume Mountain because, like, that stuff was consistent. You always had coming back to speak to the Sphinx, or like at the end you had a little bit of conversation with whoever it was, I've forgotten his name.
Caraptus,
although it wasn't him in the end, was it?
No, Zonzin is Ginny.
Yeah. I guess we could have interacted with the guy at the end of this one, perhaps. But it kind of felt at that point that if the longer you wait, he'll just keep chucking eggs in the fire, and it's kind of a countdown. So I kind of agree with what everyone said, but I think the main issue was that it's after the first bit, it's kind of just, and you go here and you do combat. You go here and you do combat.
You lack any social things, yeah. But that's it. It's the location, isn't it? That's what.
Yeah.
You're given the location, and.
But again, I mean, that does suit certain players. I know some people have the whole session 0 thing, which they sort of agree on what they're after. And some people would say, look, I just like tactics and combat, and I want to be put in those situations. And for people like that, maybe this is perfect for them,
Yeah.
Minimal social interaction and role play, because that's not what they're into. More just tactics and attacking and numbers.
And I will say about this particular module, it does have reference to the D&D miniatures game from the time. So it has an additional small amount of notes that says if you were to do this as the miniatures game, how you would then interpret these maps to use it as a sort of like the board game version, as it were. And it's very little that you need to do to change it from the way that we run them, pretty much. And you're right.
Just dropping, you go enter this encounter, then this happens, and you go to this encounter. So
Yeah.
you just minimize all that and just take the encounters and do them one after the other. That's very,
Anything else?
Yeah.
Like everyone was saying, I loved the characters, despite the soup of voices that it became the accent.
Their adventuring name is the soup. That's what they'll be known as forever. Yeah.
Yeah, they are the soup.
I think the Sword Sage is a great,
Love the
great
Sage.
class. I think all of the classes in that book are really good.
Tome of Battle, is it? Tome of Battle?
Yeah. Tome of Battle.
Yeah, never even looked in that book really before, so really impressed.
Yeah, me and Mike have both gleefully bonded over having
Yeah.
characters with classes from that.
It's a great book.
I think the Lurk, I think you're probably right, especially about the just having to pay so much in limited points to get what someone else gets for free must be really frustrating.
When I'm taking turns and I'm like working it out and I'm like, oh my god, like I've got to do this and this and this, and I roll out, I'm like 13 damage. Like I'm like, oh
Yeah, like the Sword Sage, there's lots of planning you can do and stuff, and you have to like stop completely for a round to boost your stuff back up, but that's much less of a sacrifice than spending all your power points and having nothing.
Yeah, like I spent everything and I got somewhere in the realm of 40 something damage, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like I threw everything I could. That was maximum amount of damage I could do at that level, and it was like 40, and I was like, okay. And again, it's not all about damage. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying
but in this
story
module
where we are specifically meant to be fighting dragons, not ideal.
And the warrior / master thrower is obviously absurd. It's just like it's one of those things where if you just decide to I'm just going to min max this, you can do stupid things. But I probably wouldn't want to do that in a long campaign. It's funny to do for a little bit, like I was saying, but it's probably not going to create the most interesting combat for you when you just go in and just.
I like your response was, we could do this, and I'll throw my knives.
That's
it.
I think we've said it before, but it is the Angel Summoner and the BMX Bandit. It is 100%. Right, I'm going to pop a wheelie and then I'm going to ride along, do an endo, flip around, knock them off the pier. Or I could just summon a host of angels. Well, alright, you summon a host of angels this time. Next time we'll use BMX-based tactics.
Yes.
Yeah, you're very much with the Angel Summoner of this campaign, Nimble Softfoot.
For those of you who aren't aware, do have a Google and YouTube of David Mitchell and Robert Webb, BMX Bandit.
BMX Bandit.
Definitely.
Angel Summoner. Sorry, I was about to join in.
No, I'm done. You can.
I think I agree with all of you. I liked them as independent areas, and I think some of my favourite ones was when you had. I enjoyed you playing with the tactics of can I get around the cadaver collectors, and the very first one as well, which was can we get past all these black scales to deal with certain bits, and then what happens when everything just exploded then. I think the limitations that came with that was all the maps were the same size.
Yeah.
Every map was a 30 by 20? Whatever they were all the same, and that in itself, actually, for me, I found quite limiting in the variations. And they were all, there was one big, essentially, an arena. Here's the objective. Here's what that is. And I think I completely agree. I would love to see these as part of a bigger story with more to give you more reason to kind of get to know the characters. I'd like to bring Meepo into it more, and Targen Clem more. I'd like to know more of what they're doing rather than just, I'm at the start, I'm at the end.
Yeah.
And I'd also look to expand the maps a bit.
Yeah, they weren't even dungeons, were they? Yeah, you're right. They're just sort of areas. The first one had a few nooks, but
and it just says if you're playing this as is, the edges is the edge, and it's like, oh, okay. Don't get me wrong, compared to the ones we've done, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I love the characters. I've had a great time seeing how you've taken such a weird ensemble and
they're all weird.
And actually challenged it. And I have to say, I do like the Fantastic Location series. I think there's some good stuff there, but I think definitely, as you've all been saying, it's an integration rather than a standalone. But I think really it's just to kind of say to all of you watching, what are your thoughts? Again, if you've done and played the Dragondown Grotto, what have been your opinions on it? If you haven't, what have been your thoughts? And from the actual campaign in the session today, what would you have done? Did you agree with what the players did? Would you have done things differently? Would you have handled Clem in a different way?
Would you have flown directly into a zone?
Would you have
Would you
gone
have
straight
flown-
into the zone of
Dropped
death?
yourself into a zone
In
of
between
death.
all
Would
the
you have
dragons?
done-
Would you have done that?
Would you have done
like
that?
some form of detect first to see what was going on? Which
Would
again,
you? Are
these
you
guys
stupid? Are you an
had-
idiot? Are you? Hmm?
Okay,
Oh.
I think we're getting to that point where all that's left to say at this moment is bone them rolls.
Bone them
Don't
rolls.
Don't tell your mum.
Don't tell your mum.